So, as I was saying, last Christmas was a little difficult for the Watsons. First of all, they were in a little bit spot of trouble because Sherlock had kind of given in to his opium addiction and had not been working as a detective for a while. And so they were having difficulty making ends meet. And unfortunately for them, their landlord was Scrooge, and he was Scrooging them very hard on the rent, and they were having difficulty kind of getting by. They ended up involved in some shenanigans over at Scrooge's home, which involved ghosts and a bunch of other little things like that. This had for effect, one, to reinvigorate Sherlock a little bit, as Sherlock found a whole new realm in which he knew very little of, to sort of explore and challenge himself in. And so he's kind of picked himself up a little bit in the past year by his bootstraps. But unfortunately, his loving husband, John Watson, has been suffering a little bit more. His exposure to the supernatural has shook him, his faith in science and the orderly things of the world. And while he's taken to enjoying 6 or 7 little gin toddies too many a day, and he himself is now not feeling as chipper as he used to. As we engage in this little story, Sherlock has decided that perhaps what Watson needs, and just to make sure nothing happens again by being next to the Scrooge's home, that they would take off to this little estate on Scottish moors that has been in Holmes's family for a very long time. Holmes remembers going there as a kid, but as an adult, he has not been there in quite some time. But he figured maybe this would be good for Watson to go there and just kind of have a quiet little Yuletide, a very quiet little Christmas, where nothing happens and no shenaniganeries occur. Yeah. And so we find them there tonight at Bulwin Manor, this little home that has been in Sherlock's family now for a long time. It is beautiful, old school, old style sort of manor out in the rugged lands of Scotland. It has snowed a little bit, so there is a slight covering of snow and frost over everything. The little castle-like structure is very drafty and so very cold, and the only person who's around at all is Angus, the groundskeeper. And so when Sherlock and Dr. Watson arrived, the place was very cold, very empty, everything was under dust sheets, etc. So they set about to kind of set the place up a little bit and try to get fire going. Angus has arrived and kind of helped him, and he's gone out to get some wood to throw into the fire. And we find them late of an evening, on the first night that they've arrived here on their little vacation, in their drawing room with a bit of a fire going, but they're still low on wood, so they're waiting on Angus to come back. They have some tea out, perhaps. Watson is sitting, perhaps forlorn, a little dejected, in an armchair with Warlock. Fuck, that's not bad. Warlock. Warlock Holmes. There we go. With Sherlock, perhaps wondering how best to help his little buddy. So, pass it over to you. As you sit there, let's start with John Watson. Can you tell us a little bit about John and sort of what's going on with him, and how do we find John in this particular evening?
Well, of course, John is sat in an armchair right near the fire, the blanket draped over his knees, and he's staring at the coals in the bottom of the fireplace. And occasionally he reaches into his jacket pocket and takes out a wee silver flask and pours a dram of liquid into his tea and takes a swig. And puts the lid back on and puts it back and continues to stare. His right knee is giving him a bit of trouble today, given the cold and the draftiness. Spending the Yuletide in Scotland is romantic on paper, but perhaps a little bit impractical in terms of, the ennui of life. And occasionally he'll hear a creak upstairs, and you see him very quickly whip around and look around behind him, and can continues to stare at the fire.
What about Sherlock? What is Sherlock up to at this particular moment? And what do we see as we take in the scene with Sherlock?
Sherlock is behind the chairs on the other side from the fire, and he's pacing back and forth. He's slightly irritated that they asked to be here. He's wishing he was back by Scrooge at this moment, desiring to see if there would be more tomfoolery afoot at Scrooge's house during this season, but he has taken it upon himself to be so kind as to take his husband out to the countryside in hopes that perhaps he'll calm the fuck down, while all the while being entirely selfish and just biting at the bit for a new case, something to do. He's bored, quite frankly, John. I'm bored.
Well, I know, darling, that you're quite bored, but... Well, I suppose we could have just stayed in London then.
Could we have?
Certainly. You enjoy it far more than you enjoy the delights of the Scottish Highlands.
And deal with you shivering about in the house, scared of whatever is next door. You set me on edge with that.
I certainly imagine that I might be shivering about in here. A drafty old place like this is probably haunted.
Is your knee acting up again?
My knee has never stopped acting up, darling.
Right. One day you'll realize, John, that it's purely psychosomatic.
Oh, I'm sure, yes. And everything I've seen in the war and all of that, that was all psychosomatic as well. Is that what you're going to tell me? After all the spooky happenings that happened last Christmas, you think that, oh yes, it's all just stuff and nonsense.
Spooky, John. And he comes over and sits down at the armchair across from you, and you see his foot just going a mile a minute. He's leaning into you. Spooky. It was absolutely thrilling, John. Thrilling. But now we're here in the country, in my parents' old place. Do you think I want to be here? This is horrible, John. I feel like a caged animal inside of here.
Well, wasn't it your summer home? Haven't you got fields you could run in, or some sort of odd bedchamber that you put all your mechanical whatsy bits in? I imagine there's something you could do to pass the time if you don't want to sit next to me here beside the fire.
Ah, yes, memories. The family in the summer home with my wonderful brother, Mycroft. It just brings back so much joy to my heart. John, let me tell you, I'm absolutely thrilled to be here.
Well, Mycroft is an arse, so... And he's not here. And there's a full bar cart. And there's fire in the fireplace. So I, quite frankly, think it's rather lovely. And if maybe you just sat down and had a little bit of Christmas cheer, then perhaps we could have a lovely time together.
Well, perhaps I could find a bit of Christmas cheer in the bottom of a pipe, but I wasn't allowed to have any more of that either. Can I? And he stands up and he begins pacing again behind you.
Yes, prattle on about all the drugs that you're missing out on, I understand.
Yes, well, far more fun in London than it is here.
I know you miss the hubbub of the city, darling, but quite frankly, it's 3 days. You can't just simmer down, find a book.
Do you think that a mind like mine, John, just simmers down on its own? Is that how this works for you? If only I could be so simple as to just sit and stare at a fucking fire and simmer down.
Well, then take up a new hobby, I suppose. Perhaps you could knit or cook or learn to chop firewood like that groundskeeper. Yes.
And as you mentioned a groundskeeper, you hear him stomping upstairs. You were sure he was outside getting some wood, but he seems to be instead walking around upstairs, his feet going bunk, 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 as he paces about upstairs. Meanwhile, outside, Angus, you've gone out, gathered some wood. You have a little sled that you're pulling behind you, your shotgun over your shoulder. You're pulling in this little sled stacked with wood. You stop as you hear echoing through the moors this baying hound. And just as this one hound's voice starts to peter down, a second one joins it, and the two of them together raise the hairs on the back of your neck, and you look up into the sky and you see the clouds moving in, dark, thick, heavy storm clouds, menacing with snow. And as you pull the collar up on your jacket and make to head towards the home once more, you stop as you see in the window upstairs the glint of candles, the outline of a face. It's there for just one moment and then disappears. Tell us, Angus, what do we see as you take this in and hesitate out there on the moors not too far from the house?
We see a very top-heavy, scruffy, burly man. Definitely a man of the field. Unkept beard, wild, tattered hat, and large jacket that's he seemed to have forever. As he stomps through the snow with his heavy boots, and he looks and he sees that visage in the window with that small candlelight, and he's, yeah, we'll fix it soon enough. It'll be fine. As he continues to walk towards the house with the wood that he's gathered.
You approach the back door of the house, pull out the massive keyring with all the keys on it for all the various doors and all the various rooms of this place, and you unlock the back door and beat the snow off your boots and start hauling in the wood. You hear Sherlock and John Watson in the drawing room having another argument, something about drugs or drinking or etc., etc., etc. And there's something about their tone, their accent, their way of speaking that is very big city folk like that. That doesn't rub you too well, but you finish bringing in the wood, and as you gather a big armful of it and approach the drawing room to set it into the fire, you push open the door. John, Sherlock, you see the groundskeeper, Angus, standing there, arms full of wood covered in snow. What do you all do?
He does kind of stand there. He doesn't acknowledge you, but he's standing there and he sees you holding the wood.
Hello, Angus.
Right. I was hoping the cold would run the two of you off. Hi. Hello. Evening.
Would you, like to come sit by the fire? I could pour you a dram.
I'll tend to the fire first. It needs stoking.
No,
obviously.
I can do it. You just been cold outside, so have a sit. You're covered in snow, dear. And John gets up and kind of hobbles over and begins brushing snow off of you.
Oh yes, come in, Angus. He's dying for a drinking partner right now.
You shut up.
Don't you have something to sip to keep your mouth shut?
Well, I'm going to continue doing my job, as I've always been, whether there have been people here or not.
Right.
You probably should take a seat, Dr. Watson.
Right, yes, indeed. And John makes his way back over to the armchair.
All over.
Yes, he's kind of like hand over hand along the back of the sofa to get back to the armchair.
And as you do, there's suddenly a wild burst of wind, and all the shutters on all the windows of the cabin start to slam back and forth, rattling the windows, and all the candles and inside the house all of a sudden all go out, all at the same time, plunging you into darkness. If it wasn't for the little bit of fire in the fireplace currently, those red embers, you would be in utter darkness. Wind owls
That's interesting.
Hell's bells. Does that happen often here? And you see that John's kind of like very wide-eyed looking about.
No, it hasn't happened in some time, actually. The last time it happened, well, let's just say it's been some time.
What's that supposed to mean?
Are there ghosts here? Just want to know if there are any ghosts. If you've seen a ghost, maybe a ghoul, vampire, werewolf, any kind of such thing that would be the stuff of fairy tales or nonsense, but perhaps it's real.
Angus does not address Sherlock at all. Like, doesn't even turn his head to them, but speaks to Watson and goes, werewolves, possibly. It's been a minute. Ghosts, depends on the day of the week.
So you're saying there are ghosts? Did you hear that, darling? There are ghosts here.
I could only hope so.
Big, scary, hairy, snotty ghosts that will rattle their chains and tell us what evil men we are. And maybe Scrooge will die in front of us again, and maybe he'll come back to life, and maybe I'll just go mad here.
I can't. I cannot. Sorry.
Well, perhaps your ghost is here now, darling. It appears we have a visitor.
Oh, who is it?
And you hear, a moment later, the doorbell ring. And it's one of those old bell things that you have to pull, and it's a cling, 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 cling. It echoes throughout the dark and empty room. House, rather.
I'll get the door. Just hold on for a moment. I'll be back to light the candles. I'll see who's knocking.
Finally, Angus, as you head towards the door. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I just looked at Sherlock and I say, there's a fucking ghost here. You brought me to a place with fucking ghosts. The whole point was that I was not going to be involved with any fucking ghosts, and now there's a fucking ghost here. Do you hear that? There's a ghost.
Don't you see, darling? The game's afoot again.
Oh, for
We're going
fuck's
to have
sake,
fun.
your fucking foot game.
You like my foot game.
Angus, as you head into the kitchen, finally she's here. You've been worried. With the weather turning and the darkness falling and her being late, you were very worried. So finally she's here and you're very happy, and you reach the door and you throw it open and you see there, Eric, what does Angus see there as he opens the door?
Angus sees probably not who he was expecting to see, but instead he sees I'm going to say like 5'10" man, looks to be in his late 40s perhaps, but he has a big shock of white hair on the top of his head. He's got big bushy sort of composer eyebrows, and he's holding down a bowler hat on the top of his head with all of the wind, and that kind of makes his big mop of hair push out like a Harpo Marx kind of approach, and he's wearing little itty bitty round glasses, and he's got driving gloves on his hand. He's wearing a suit. It doesn't look particularly well tailored, but it also doesn't look particularly cheap. He's got checkered pants, and he's got a wool overcoat that he's sort of holding together with one hand, and he's got his head on top of his bowler hat. And when the door opens, he says, "Oh, thank goodness you have come! May I please have some refuge from the cold?"
Angus throws the door open and goes, "Sooty, and then slams the door closed.
I look around in either direction, kind of pull my overcoat over me even more, and I knock on the door again.
We don't take solicitors.
Who's that?
Some crazy confused older German man.
Help me! I need help!
Brilliant. You should let him in.
Older German man. He'll freeze out there, Scotland.
Really, I must protest. Taking in people at this time of year, especially in this cold, would not be the best.
It's very
How
strange out
strange it
here.
looks.
Jeez. Opens the door.
And I'm just going to push right inside. And I'm like, I take off my overcoat with a flourish, and I look around for like a hanger, and I say, "Oh, thank you so much for your hospitality. I am Dr. Helmut Weishaupt Helmut Weishaupt Stahlberg, and I am most cold. Might you set me up with a beverage that would warm my heart and spirit? Oh, hello, gentlemen."
Yeah, I think John has plenty of beverages that you could choose from, don't you, John?
Shut up. Yes, I do. What would you like?
Oh,
What
anything warm, perhaps?
Oh, well,
Schnapps.
and John toddles over to the bar cart and takes a bottle of some scotch or whatever and sits in the armchair and puts the bottle between his legs and just begins warming it.
Very well. I continue to sort of like take off my driving gloves and look for a place to sit.
Sure. Go ahead. Sherlock just kind of ushers you over to the chair next to where John was by the fire.
Excellent. Thank you for your hospitality. And he extends a hand and he says, once again, I am Dr. Helmut Weishaupt Stahlberg, but you may refer to me as Dr. Helmut. And I am most appreciative of the warmth and your hospitality.
What kind of doctor are you?
I am a doctor of medical science, my good man.
Really? That is fascinating. As I stand and pour you 2 fingers of whatever, probably scotch, could be something else, maybe brandy, I don't know. And I hand it to you and I say, really, a medical doctor? Where did you practice, good man?
I did my primary work at the University of Stuttgart. In Stuttgart.
Well, when did you do your practice, good man?
Oh, I've never stopped. I am currently practicing in Aberdeen, and I found myself, a bit stranded out here, I should say. My car, it stopped working. I think it's too cold.
Oh, well, that's something that might happen. Storyteller, would I know, just from the medical circle, would I know anything about Dr. Helmut?
I mean,
Weisberg.
Weisberg, Stahl.
Oh, sorry, yes. I'm
Weishaupt
going to call you
Stahlberg.
Dr. Helmut.
Stahlberg.
No,
Stahlberg.
not particularly. You've never encountered him or heard of him. And I mean, there's probably like dozens of Weishaupt Stahlbergs running around when you think about it.
Right. Well, it's interesting that you say that. I myself am a medical doctor as well.
Oh, it is a delight to meet you.
A pleasure.
And he reaches out his hand.
Shake his hand.
And as you're shaking hands and making friendly over some warmed up thigh whiskey, somewhere off on the moors, the wind, Sooty, has caught you a little bit unawares. It is blowing through the trees, making the branches creak and groan, and the land beneath you is quickly freezing, the water of the bog turning to slush and slowly to ice as you guide yourself by the only light you can see, a little bit of a light somewhere up ahead. And as you approach this light with your shawl kind of pulled up and whatnot, you see something interesting up ahead. But before we get to that, how about you tell us a little bit about who Sooty is and what she looks like right now?
Sooty is a tall, willowy woman. She has underneath that tartan shawl a long dark hair that's a little bit curly at the bottom and cast with these spatterings of silver through it. She sort of has a grimace on her face, not permanently, but in the face of the cold. She's wrapped up well in wool. and with wool mittens on, and long woolen skirts that are also in a tartan pattern that matches that of her shawl. She's not unpretty, but she is sort of plain looking, and probably mid-30s.
You hustle forward and freeze in your tracks as you hear in the distance the baying of a hound, quickly followed by a second hound. And again, as the two of them merge their songs, it gains this chilling quality to it that freezes your blood even more than it was already frozen by the cold around you. And as you look down into the valley, you can see the road that leads up to the manor. You see a figure, a man, running towards the manor, and off in the distance, to the left, you see two shapes moving. In the dark, they appear to be hounds, but their eyes are lit with flames, as are their paws, as they run up along this road, and this man running for his life towards the manor makes it just in time, arrives at the door and knocks. The hounds pull off, head into the moor, and as you stand there witnessing this, you hear a voice that you know very well, a voice that sounds like leaves in the wind. Well, well, well. It looks like you will have more to contend with than you expected.
Oh, Ken, if you could only have the half of it. There's English there up in that house.
You look over to the side, and detaching herself from the forest, with her long pointed ears, her beautiful long black hair braided through with leaves and vines, her hooved feet moving silently across the bed of snow, she approaches you. The last time the English came up here, it wasn't good for anyone. I doubt it'll be any better tonight.
No, I can't even imagine it would be, Ken.
Are you certain you want to go there and do what you want to do?
Well, no, not really. Be quite honest with you, but my brother's up there, so.
Angus, tell me something. Have you told him about us yet? She reaches out and takes your hand in hers, the soft fur on the back of her hand warming your fingers.
She strokes her thumb along the back of her hand. No, Hen, I have not. I have put it off a bit, so.
A bit? It's been over a year.
Old Angus, he's not so keen on your life.
But certainly, he's keen on you and would not begrudge you happiness, no matter how strange it might seem to him. And she reaches out and, with the back of her hand and that soft fur there, caresses the side of your cheek.
Perhaps, but I get nervous.
Well, the night calls. Soon will be time for me to move on, unless I have very good reason to be here. I hate to do this to you, City. You know how much I care for you, but unless we are wed soon, I will be forced to return to the woods, and, well, as you know, I will not do it unless you have your brother's blessings. So, it seems to me like you have your work cut out for you this evening.
I do. Can you just give me some time, just a little time there?
I can give you until dawn. Speak to him tonight. I'm sure
Right.
the love for his sister will trump any sort of ill will you might have towards my kind.
Dawn's short notice, very short notice, but yep. Yep.
The force
You can
calls.
count on me.
I must answer its call unless... And she squeezes your hand. You give me a reason to stay.
Sooty sort of looks off wistfully, yearning.
Be careful. There are dangers in the forest tonight, and not just the ones you expect. Strange, old things move amongst the trees, and they have ill will towards humans.
Well, hopefully they have more ill will against the English than...
They're not the type of things that care very much for where a man or woman come from. They do not see a difference.
That can't be right. That... No.
Look, my love, I will be around if you need me. She leans in and gives you a kiss on the forehead.
She softens immediately to that affection and waits to feel the warmth sort of slip away before she turns to head back.
You continue on your way towards the manor, hoping that your brother will be in a good mood for once. And as we cut back inside the house, Angus, you're getting very fretful, very worried. Two of them are now fairly drunk and are talking nonsense about medicine and universities and what have yous. Sherlock has sort of retreated into himself, perhaps sitting in a corner and keeping an eye on everything. He seems to be taking note, to be noticing things. He's kind of unsettling in his stillness and how he is withdrawn there, but his eyes don't seem to miss a single thing. What's going on inside the room at this particular juncture, my friends? As the night has grown colder and darker, the fire seems to be having difficulty kind of taking. And Angus, you hear upstairs a very, very soft song, a lullaby that you used to hear so very long ago and had almost forgotten, just echoing through the room.
That's almost a welcoming sound compared to what's happening in this room. Like Angus is standing on the edge of whatever doorway, hand on the side of a panel, squeezing it until you can hear Woodquack eye twitching until he hears that, which diverts his attention. And he looks back in the room with the three of them, and he's like, and he says, "I'll be right back. You all occupy yourself." And he kind of shuffles away towards that sound.
I assure you, my scalpel is much larger, my good man.
Oh, Dr. Watson, you have an unparalleled intellect. It is so good to speak to you. You must be one of the leading minds of London's intelligentsia.
I mean, certainly. And John looks over to his husband, Sherlock, and smiles and goes, "Did you hear that, darling? One of the most intelligentsia minds in London."
Sherlock is not even looking at you. He realizes that you are fucking wasted, that you have no idea what you're talking about, and his eyesight is on Angus and wherever the fuck Angus just went, watching as he walks away, and he's just waiting for your attention to swing back around so he can also disappear. Yeah, I think he just kind of does the mumble, yes, of course, darling. Perfect.
Well, You know, Dr. Helmers, my husband, this one, the tall one with the hat.
Yes.
Sherlock is very, very smart, and he wouldn't appreciate the fact that I'm gushing about him, but I'm rather fond of him despite our little spats that we have. He's truly one of the most gifted minds. He's Sherlock Holmes. He's solved many a case. I'm sure you've heard of them. There was a
Sherlock
Holmes.
Holmes?
Yeah.
No, I'm afraid I've never heard of Sherlock Holmes.
You've
Come
never-
join us, Mr. Sherlock, at the fire. I'm sure you have many stories to tell.
Bleak, could I have slipped off towards where Angus is going now?
Go ahead and give me a stealth roll. So the way the system works, and I do believe everyone has at least one elementary, thanks to our wonderful friend Varl B. Jim, who will give out some.
I'm
some
gonna use mine.
You're going
For this,
to
I
be,
get 2 extra dice, correct?
Yeah, and you're going to be rolling
Okay.
a number of dice equal to your precision and your stealth.
Beautiful. That's 1 success.
You need a 6 for success, and that's all you need. When you look up for Sherlock, you realize that what you thought was Sherlock was actually just the shadow of the coat rack that the fire is throwing on the chair that Sherlock was sitting on. That kind of made it look like he was sitting there, but he's not there anymore. He has disappeared.
Oh, bollocks. The tall scampered off again. He does that. He's got this mind like what is it? Like a hamster wheel. And it just keeps going. But it's as if the hamster wheel has come off its hinge and it's just rolling down the hall. So I imagine he's probably rolling down the hall right now.
Yes, well, let's make the most of it. And he takes the scotch bottle and pours both of us another shot of scotch.
Indubitably. Well, Dr. Helmet, you said your degree was in medical science.
Yes.
What is it exactly that you do then?
I mostly am engaged in theoretical science, and I tend to do a lot of experimentation with cadavers and the like.
Oh, cadaver. Oh, that's why you're at Aberdeen. Did you spend any time in Edinburgh? They've got that ghastly fucking museum with all the bits and bobs.
I have spent many hours in that museum. There is so many delightful oddities. There is the skin of a pirate. I spent a good deal of time studying that. Then there are a number of diseased livers that I spent a great deal of time investigating. To say nothing of the pickled punks.
Oh, indeed. Yes, indeed. I think that in spite of himself, John is like rather enraptured by this because it's the first time that science has come back around and he's had a bit of a remembrance of why he enjoyed it in the first place. But he has a moment where he goes, where the hell did my husband get off to? Perhaps, what's lovely about having the whole manor house to ourselves, dear doctor?
Oh, please tell me.
We can take these to go. Come along.
Oh, very well. Shall we find your husband then?
Yes. Come along.
As
I
you
follow along.
toddle off out of the drawing room, Angus, where are you going?
Can I just throw one thing in?
Yeah,
Once,
absolutely. 100%.
Dr. Watson turns
100%.
around. I throw my entire glass of scotch in the fireplace.
Fire
I keep the
blazes.
glass, but I just throw
suddenly.
the glass and the stuff in there.
Excellent.
Not trying to create a big fire. I'm just trying to get rid of the
Yeah,
booze
the house burns down. The adventure
without
is over.
Watson seeing it. Great.
Thanks for the follow.
Victory is mine.
City 1.
You,
Bleak,
Angus,
I'd like
yeah.
to make a stealth roll myself, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. You also have one elementary kicking around if you want it. Are you making this stealth roll to attempt to evade Sherlock? Is that what you're doing, or?
Yes.
Okay, so it's going to be an opposed roll. Sherlock, you are going to use your logic and vigilance. Both of you will roll, and whoever has the most successes, their thing will take effect.
thing. I'm going to use my bits
Did you get
for
that?
that.
2d6.
So that gives me an additional 2d6 or... Two successes.
I only got one.
Okay, let's start with Angus. Where are you going, Angus?
I'm following the sound, but once I think I hear the creaking steps of Sherlock, I dip off into a room, waiting for them to pass, and I'm going to do the behind the back, covering the mouth thing, whispering into their ear.
All right, so let's do this then. So you're about to go climbing up the stairs because you're hearing that lullaby coming from upstairs. Then you hear the creaking of the door from the drawing room. So you know exactly what's happened. You know this house like the back of your hand. You've been here forever. You quickly slip into what would amount to be the sort of cleaning closet, the closet where all the custodial stuff would be stored. And you don't even touch the door. You just kind of slip in. Sherlock, you walk into the dark hallway, and a couple of things immediately draw your attention. One, you realize you're not 100% sure where Angus went. You lend an ear trying to figure out where he might be, but there's so much noise going on. There's the noise of the two drunk doctors in the other room. There's creaking upstairs, those footsteps again. You can hear them. Now you think you hear maybe like a lullaby or some sort of someone singing very, very softly coming from upstairs. And at the same time, you feel that there's something else going on outside. So all this is kind of preying on you at the same time. And because you've kind of maybe been out of it a little bit for a while, it's hard to kind of focus on that. What we're going to do is I'm going to ask Angus to make an agility, a physique and close combat roll. And Sherlock, I'm going to ask you to do a logic and vigilance again to see if you detect that he's about to try and grab you.
That's 3 successes.
Devil's luck. Angus?
That's a hot one.
As soon as Angus moves to grab you, Sherlock, not only does everything else around you kind of go silent, and the immediate threat, the sound coming up behind you, stands out, but also reflecting in the mirror. There's a mirror at the end of the hall, and as soon as you look into it, you see two things. One, you see the face of a woman holding candles, and as soon as you see it, and your eyes kind of go wide about it, it disappears, and you see instead Angus' reflection as he's coming up behind you and he's about to grab you. What would you like to do?
I'm going to just kind of sidestep out of the way and turn very quickly.
And as you do this, you hear from the door, cling, ling, 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 cling, ling, 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 ling.
Angus looks at Holmes and goes, I will deal with you later. And he takes off towards the door.
Right before you walk away, after you say that, Holmes gives you a little smirk and says, "It's not who you think it's going to be, Angus."
That stops him at the top of the stairs, but he continues to go towards the door.
You go to the door. Finally, Sooty is here. You're getting really worried. You're hearing the baying of the hounds outside in the distance. You're not too sure what that's about, but you know it can't be good. That storm is really raging, and you throw open the door.
Immediately grabs her by the shoulders. Just grabs her by the shoulders, brings her in the house, closes the door.
Except
and he's
it's not Sooty. You hold in your hands an older man, a priest by the look of his garb. He's got a wide-brimmed hat that is dripping with snow and wet. His jacket shoulders also are covered in snow. And he's like, "Dear God, good man."
And he's grasping at it went from a careful come in here to realizing who it is to now you're gonna walk away with a bruise on your shoulders. He's pissed. He's like, "Evening,
Angus,
how can I help you?"
hold yourself, man. It's only I, Father Murdoch.
It's wonderful to see you, Father. Sorry.
Are you certain? You look like you're about to tear my whole head off. I've got waylaid in the storm. Is everything all right? I was coming from
Everything's
McBride's
fine.
Croft when I got caught by that storm. Are you all right, Angus?
It's just the snow. It's it snows so often. Sorry, and you're here because of what, Father? I'm sorry.
Oh, I got caught up in the winter snow. Like I said, I was up at McBride's Croft. Old Baird McBride just kicked the bucket, and his wife wanted me to go up there and give him the last sacraments.
Does the
and
crucifix.
of course, one little drink after another, and now it's extremely late, and the storm has moved in, and there are some sort of hounds about. I heard them baying out there. I'm not sure if they're wolves or what, but they're quite unsettling on my nerves. Are you sure you're all right? You seem a little out of it, man.
It's just been quite an evening. There are other guests here, and I'm waiting for my sister. I'm concerned because of the snow, and I thought you were her. So please, have a seat. I think there's wine on the cart. If there's something else you prefer, I'm sure I can figure it out. Just give me a moment. And he rushes away from the priest
There's a
back to
car
where
on the
Holmes
road,
was.
also just down by. I suppose they have schnapps somewhere, and he starts moving through the house. Where do you go, Angus?
Back to where the last place he saw Holmes.
Holmes, what have you been doing?
Holmes is just standing at the top of the stairs,
Exactly the same place.
watching this interaction and just smirking to himself, kind of leaning against the wall there.
Angus makes it to the top of the stairs. How did you know that?
How did I know what?
How did you know it wasn't my sister?
Why are you waiting on your sister? Why are you so nervous, Angus?
It's a terrible storm. And she's small. So small.
Right. How about you, don't worry about that. I just tend to notice things. Just like I noticed that strange sound coming from the hall. Is that why you came up here?
Old home creaks oddly. Mr. Holmes.
Right. Do old Holmes sing as well?
Depends on how the wind blows through these old bones of a building. They tend to whistle in some cases. Infrastructure. We don't get much of it out here.
Sherlock points to a window. Sometimes you see reflections of priests in windows.
Are you sure your husband is the only one who is partaking tonight there?
Oh, I'm of sound mind, I assure you, Angus.
Sound mind. Sound mind doesn't come with such inset pacing. You know, it'd be very easy to toss you down these stairs.
You could, yes. I
could.
suppose.
I could, but then I wouldn't be able to use you for something important.
And as you say that, two drunken doctors come barreling out of the room, down the hall, right up to the two of you, just standing there in the middle of the hallway. And you can see beyond him now, doctors, that there is some kind of wet priest in the kitchen beyond all of you who is going through the cupboards.
Good God, a wet priest. Darling, it's not my birthday.
Shall we introduce ourselves to the wet priest?
Oh, yes, Father. Excuse me. And I wipe my hand on my shirt. Offer. I'm Dr. John Watson. This is my friend, Dr. Helmut.
Dr. Helmut.
Yes. He's not wearing one, but that's his name.
There's that famous wit of yours.
Yes, famous.
Dr.
You've
John.
only just met me tonight, Doctor. You really
Yeah.
don't know what I'm capable of. Darling, why is there a wet priest in the kitchen? A sticky wet priest. Is it honey?
Who was that addressed to? Sorry.
I don't know. I thought it was weirdly assumed that Sherlock was in the room, but I think I might be wrong.
I'm
I
upstairs.
think your husband left us some time ago, Dr. Watson.
Oh my God! Excuse me. Let me. I don't mean to be rude, but Father, you're wet and in my kitchen. What's going on?
You would happen to have some schnapps, would you? And
Schnapps, and I go to the pantry.
as you do
That
that,
would be just the thing.
as you do that, you hear, all of you at the same time, this incredibly loud window rattling baying of a hound, and it is quickly joined by a second one, and the hairs on the back of your necks just rise up and cold sweat starts to pour as this dark, evil, menacing baying echoes throughout this room and throughout the moors, and it's difficult to tell which direction it's coming from, but it's incredibly loud and all-encompassing, and it sets the fear of God right into you. Sherlock, you are upstairs, approaching a room. You look out a window, and you see, coming across the moors, getting close to the building, a woman with a shawl pulled up over her hair, approaching the house, and further in the distance, you see what appear to be fires, little fires, moving along the edge of the wood. And as you see all of this, you feel a cold breath right along your ear and your cheek, and the window in front of you frosts over.
Sherlock is going to approach the window and take the sleeve of his fine wool jacket he's wearing and kind of rub away that frost if he can.
Sooty, as you are approaching the house, you hear the baying of the hounds. You know that they're not far. You know what those hounds are. You know why they're here. You feel that fear settling into you. They're keeping far away, but it's pretty clear they're circling this house. It is this house they're interested in. But beyond that, the earth is moving and telling you that there's something else about. You feel quite a number of things moving out there. Old, ancient things moving around in the forest and in the earth around you. You know there's some sort of convergence of these things here. And then you look up, and in the window upstairs, for a moment you see a woman holding candles, and when her face disappears, and you recognize that face. When the face disappears, you see a young man, or a middle-aged man rather, I guess, standing there staring at you, but for a moment, you saw the face of your mother there, in the window. What do you do?
Sooty stands there for a moment. She, in the cold, sort of just chattering. And regardless of the sounds of the hounds circling the house, she takes in that moment where she gets to see her mother's face, no matter how haunting it might be. And then when it disappears and is replaced with that of a man, she scowls. It's an ugly look on her face and twists. And she ducks her head down and she heads up to the door of the manor.
Can you give me, please, Sooty, a empathy and magic roll?
I would love to do that for you. I'm looking for my... Okay, I see it. 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 success.
It's good enough. You know that ghosts don't usually haunt random places. It's not normal for a ghost to just be in a house they have no reason to be in. There has to be something that connects them there, something physical. And as you approach the house and put your hand on the handle, you suddenly see something. You crumble to your knees, your head leans back. Sherlock, you see this. You fall to your knees, your head leans back, your eyes roll back in your head. You tremble, you shake. Sherlock, you watch this young woman doing this. And then, Sooty, you see a man you've never seen before. A man who in a few moments you're going to see matches the description of John Watson. As he's being devoured by a hound with flame in his eyes. And you see another man that you've never seen before, except he looks kind of like the man you just saw in the window, and you will know in a few minutes, matches the description of Sherlock Holmes. You watch as he stands helpless, watching Watson being killed and ripped to shreds by one of the hounds. Sherlock, do you do anything as you watch this young woman fall to her knees and her head rears back and she starts to shake uncontrollably?
Do I see this as well?
No, the other four of you right now are inside the house. I'm about to get to you in a moment. As soon as I know what Sherlock's doing, I will then go back to Sooty.
I was gonna ask, is Angus nearby me still? Is he in the, hall? Or...
So I get the feeling that Angus is about halfway up the stairs. You're upstairs. Angus is about halfway up the stairs. The two doctors and the wet priest are in the kitchen area.
I think knowing that Angus is waiting on his sister because he had said so to the priest, Sherlock would look away from the window and down to Angus and say, I believe your sister's here. You might want to go to her. She doesn't look like she feels very good.
The 180 spins, runs down to the door, swings it open.
Sooty, the vision dissipates. You open your eyes. The door is open. You see your brother standing there. What did the two of you do?
She immediately sticks her hand out. She knows that Angus is not necessarily fond of the things that she sees and can do. So she feigns a smile. Hello, Angus.
Sooty, are you okay?
Fine. Perfectly.
Headaches again.
Obviously, yes.
Come inside. It's cold.
She steps inside and she takes off her shawl and sort of shakes out the snow of it.
He grabs it and very carefully, grabs it and,
and just pulling off her mittens and sort of handing them over to him, and leans in and with a little bit of force takes your hand and squeezes as she leans into you. Hounds nearby, Angus.
I heard they may be just migrating.
You know they're not just migrating.
It's deep snow, Sooty. They're hunting for something to stay warm and keep them fed.
What are they hunting for, Angus?
Snow rabbits, Sooty.
You know the truth as much as I do.
Not today.
Yes, today. Something dark is happening, Angus, out in the moor. I felt it, I heard it, I know it.
Something always is dark. A cloud, a whisper, a smell, a scent, a something. Sooty, we have bigger issues.
Dark and old, Angus.
Yeah.
Old.
Headaches. They're just headaches. You need a drink. You need to warm yourself. Your hands are colder than ice.
She's still gripping you hard and giving you sort of a wild look in her eyes. And For a woman of this region, it is a bit unnerving. Angus, you have to believe me.
Believe in what, Sudi? That there are things that go bump in the night, and there's goblins and ghosts and werewolves and such.
And banshees and other horrible things, and Wolver as well.
Please. And he's struggling to keep his composure, but the last person that he's going to raise his voice at is his sister. And he goes, please, we will speak about this, and you can tell me all about the ghost and goblins and what have you. Just please come sit.
Okay, but tell me about the man upstairs.
It's a fucking devil. It's annoying. Thinks highly of himself. Right addict. Ugh, both of them. Him and his husband.
Well, they might be in some sort of danger.
There's also a drunk German around here somewhere too.
No, the Germans are all right.
I appreciate the Germans.
Yeah.
Actually a lot.
They have good drink. Schnapps.
Manners. I think that's what it is.
Manners.
They have manners when they're drinking.
Manners. Yes.
Yeah, but no, there's a Dr. Bumleg. He's completely sauced, and his husband standing who's staring at us right now again thinks too highly of themselves.
English.
Both. Very, very, very English. They own this house. They think they own this house.
Just like the rest of the English who think that they own Scotland, but that's a whole other conversation that we won't have to have. And geopolitics aren't necessarily my forte, but here we are.
And you hear the
And they
baying of
can't-
the hounds again, much closer this time, echoing down through the valley, approaching the house. They can't be more than a few leagues off right now.
Lock all the doors, Angus, and the windows, and make sure nothing can get in. I do believe that your English visitors might, in fact, be in quite danger.
All right, if anything, I hope your hounds are real. I wouldn't mind tossing them out to them.
No. Something
But-
dark is happening, and I will not let those hounds be the catalyst for that.
Okay, please sit. I'll check the doors, the windows, I'll latch them. Just please sit.
Inside the house, while the two of you are in the foyer and you get her to sit on the little chair next to the door, back inside the kitchen, we have two doctors and a wet priest who are currently passing a bottle of schnapps around. The priest has told you his name is Father Murdoch, and he was just recently giving the final rites to an old crofter who lives not too far from here when he got caught in the winter snow. And you've all caught up and exchanged names and whatnot. Are you staying up there for the moment, Holmes? And I'll get to you in a few minutes, or are you coming down? Up to you. Staying up there.
No, I'm gonna stay up there because I'm gonna do a little investigating while I'm up here.
Excellent. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, the three of you are there, and the good father's like, it's quite difficult to find a doctor out here usually, and to find two like this is quite the happening. What brings the two of you out here? Are you together?
What? Us? No.
No.
We've
No.
only just met.
Yes.
Yes. No, my husband is the famous detective Sherlock Holmes. He's somewhere
Really?
about.
Is he here?
Yes, he's skulking about upstairs like a house cat. It's kind of his MO. It's either that or trying to shoot the walls because he's bored.
I heard that he had taken a rather lethal fall at Reichenbach.
Oh. Well, a magician doesn't reveal his secrets now, does he?
And what of you, Dr. Elmet, was it?
Yes,
how do
Dr.
you find yourself
Elmet
out here?
Weishaupt Stahlberg. I have come here quite by happenstance. I had trouble with my car. The cold weather, you see. It is too much for the converters. And so I had to abandon my car when I saw this charming little manor house, and I thought, oh, perhaps I can find succor there.
Well,
And
you
succor
might be-
I have found.
You might be finding more than you bargained for. The rumor is that this house is quite haunted, you see.
What? A haunted house, you say? Is this true?
So the
He
people
says
say
to
in the
John Watson.
yes, so the people say in the county.
And what about these howling we hear from the outdoors? It sounds as though the very hounds of hell themselves are surrounding this place. Is this a common occurrence here?
There are, in fact, many stories and many legends about the devil taking on the shape of a hound to scour the roads and to prey upon those who lie and deceive. But of course, the present company does not have anything to fear in that regard. So of course, we're all gentlemen of some value. I'm sure. Could I have a little bit more schnapps? And as he says that, all the cabinet doors open, and all the glassware and all the plates and everything just come shooting out of everything, and just start to shatter and rain down and shatter all around you in the kitchen. Angus and Sooty, you hear this. Angus, you're out and around kind of locking doors and barring shutters and whatnot. And Sooty, you're just trying to catch your breath on the other side. When all of a sudden you hear this loud, nightmarish clang and cracking and crashing as all these plates and glasses and cups and mugs and everything else fall to the ground. Some don't shatter, of course, some are made of wood or steel or pewter, but some of them do break. And all this happens in one moment, and then there is silence.
Dr. Helmet would probably glance around and see that John is no longer at eye level, but is down behind the kitchen island with his gun drawn.
Gonna just sort of gingerly get down next to you. Gott in Himmel, what is happening?
I don't know. I think it's ghosts. These fucking ghosts. These bloody fantastical supernatural things have been following us since last Christmas. And I told Sherlock, I told him right to his face, I said, I want peace and quiet while my whole fucking kitchen has been destroyed. And that is not peace nor quiet. You see him holding a gun very deftly, like he is military trained. He is like holding it like as if he will... He's feeling shell-shocked at this
Have you
point.
previously engaged...
Off at any moment.
Have you previously engaged in a gun battle with a geist?
Not a gun battle per se, but I dare say our landlord had a visit of spirits in the night at last Christmas, and it was a rather disgusting affair, and quite frankly, it was back when Sherlock was having his own struggles, and it was a quite long story, but yes, there was something supernatural involved, and it was rather scary, and now that I'm looking about and I see all the best china's been broken, I think something is happening again. And he's like, almost sober, with the shock of all of the dishware landing on the ground.
And as you finish your little diatribe, you're looking over Watson's shoulder, Dr. Helmet. And out the window in the kitchen, you see, for a brief moment, a face that you sort of recognize, old, with this strange hood over its head, glowing green eyes, yellow teeth, that taps gently on the window just to remind you that it's there.
I'd been sort of surreptitiously trying to not drink without Watson trying to notice, but as soon as that happens, I just drain an entire glass of schnapps and I sort of face away from the window, and I say, "This is a very strange place."
There's a lot of strange things that happen on the moors. Best keep our wits about us, and likely, Father, you're welcome to accompany us. We should find Sherlock.
That's when you realize the father's not there.
Father?
Where have you gone?
What in God's name? You saw him, correct? You didn't. He wasn't not there. We had a drink.
Father Murdoch, he was right here, right when the cabinets exploded.
I stand and I search about and make sure that he's not covered in rubble, and I assume I perhaps don't find him.
Go ahead and give me a logic and investigation, but because you're still kind of a little bit drunk, you're going to do it at a 2 dice penalty. Meanwhile, upstairs, Sherlock. This is a little bit, we'll go back in time a little bit to a few minutes before the crashing sound and all that, and we'll go back to when you watch the door open and Angus sort of help Sooty inside. What do you do from that moment on?
I think he would have listened for a minute to see if he could hear their conversation, though I would assume they were talking quietly enough that he wouldn't have been able to hear them.
Yeah, from the second floor and with the wind and everything, yeah, he wouldn't have been...
Yeah, would have quickly grown bored of that and turned around and started moving down the hall in the direction that he heard the music coming from, and he is going to try to investigate that.
Give me a... Interestingly enough, give me a empathy and observation roll.
Okay. One success.
Also for... I'm not saying to use this now, but your erudite talent is pretty good, so if ever you want to use that, just let me know. But sorry, how many successes did you say?
Just one.
You start moving through the room, through the corridor upstairs. Sorry, well, the corridor and kind of through the rooms upstairs, looking for something, anything that would kind of prick your curiosity. And you hear coming from one of the rooms a laugh. Now, this laugh is kind of interesting because it's a laugh you recognize that you know well. It is a laugh of a very young Mycroft.
He scowls to himself.
What do you do? It's coming from a room a little bit further down the hall.
Are there any windows around me currently?
No, you're in the hallway. There would be a window like at the end of the hallway sort of thing.
Okay, he's gonna keep progressing towards that obnoxious noise.
As you approach that room, you hear another sound that takes a little longer to register exactly what it is, but then you realize it's your laughter from when you were a child.
Strange. He progresses.
You get to the end of the hall and you find the door behind which these sounds came from. The door is closed.
I'm at the end of the hall. I'm gonna glance out that window again.
Give me a logic and vigilance roll.
Okay. Ooh, that's 2 successes.
You watch a large figure, could be Angus, could be something else, hard to tell. It's kind of got the general shape and form of Angus, opening the storm cellar doors and very quietly entering the basement of the house.
Interesting. I think before going through this door, I am actually going to use the erudite talent, and he's kind of soaking everything in about... I want to use it in regards to this home and the surrounding property, and hearing these hounds and seeing these strange lights out on the ridge, just kind of a generalization of like the area and the property.
All right, so your learning test is logic and learning?
Okay. I'm actually gonna roll my fucking physical dice, which I don't know why I haven't been. Two successes.
You unearth a memory, something long forgotten, of being here in the summer, alone with your father. Your father, who wasn't a very nice man, was very, very, very smart. but not nice at all. We're not going to say the apple falls far from the tree or not, but you unearth a
I'm just
memory
misunderstood.
of being exactly where you are now, standing exactly where you are now, reaching out for that door handle, finding it locked, and hearing a woman's laugh coming from behind it. And suddenly, you get this understanding that everything that's going on here tonight, everything that's happening here tonight, is tied to your past in some way, shape, or form. And that there are several different strands converging that don't necessarily have anything to do with one another, but are having something to do with one another because they're in the house now. But all of it is somehow tied to your past, particularly, or that of your family.
Interesting. I think he pulls his vision from that window and then returns his gaze to the door ahead of him, and he's going to attempt to open this door and step inside.
When you reach out and touch the handle of the door, you see that it is locked. You can attempt to pick it if you want, just letting you know, but just like in your memory, it's locked.
I feel like Sherlock is a very persistent man and would, in fact, attempt to pick this lock before completely giving up and walking away. So I will pick this lock.
You will do so with precision and stealth. I will assume he's the kind of man who carries lock picks with him, so you can add 2 dice to that roll.
Okay. Ooh, that's 3 successes.
Excellent. The door, with a click, unlocks, and as you put your hand on the knob to turn it and open it, downstairs, Sooty, you have been catching your breath when suddenly, and Sherlock, at this moment, just as you're about to open the door, you'll hear the crashing downstairs of all the glassware and all of that crashing down into the living room. In the kitchen, Sooty, you hear this also, all this enormous noises, all these things come crashing down. You feel things moving. You feel that there is something in the earth that is moving, that is approaching. You feel that there is something out there just on the edge of the forest that is circling the house, and you feel a presence in here, inside the house. You have, of course, dealt with Vaesen before. You know them, you've seen them. Your lover is one such creature. And you know, without a doubt, that there are at least 3 in the immediate area.
Do I understand the sense of if the ones that are sort of milling about this house or that are inside here with us, if they are malicious or not?
Give me a empathy plus magic.
Okay. Would love to do that for you.
Thanks for the raid, by the way, earlier. Sorry, we were in the middle of a thing when the raid came in. I'm going to scroll up and try to see who came in. If anyone... Sun Punch Studios. Thank you so much for coming in. We're playing Vaesen, but we're... And my partner is just throwing their dice all over the room. We are playing Vaesen, but we're playing a strange little Vaesen where it's a game of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson adapted to the world of Vaesen, which is a game of folk horror. What did you get, my friend, City?
I got 2 successes.
One is not, and in fact, quite the opposite. One is potentially. One definitely is. And it's kind of like the closest one is not, the second closest one potentially is, and the furthest one that is approaching is definitely bad.
Angus is still here with me. So I'm gonna take his hand again and
I'll say that,
grip it
Angus,
really-
you've gone around and locked some doors and shutters and come back into the room,
Oh.
yeah, for sure, if you want, yeah.
I'm gripping his hand tightly again and starting to stand. Angus, I understand that there are things in this world that you do not agree with, but tonight is a night of you becoming a learned man over that.
You can see like the look of before when you would speak about this, Angus would kind of have this concerned, almost dismissive look. In this particular moment, you can see that he's accepting what's happening. Education is good for anyone who wants to move forward in the world. What causes this, Suri?
Do I know what can cause this, or do I believe this is just simply the old land and the old things that live in the land?
You know that these creatures, by and large, only come out when they have reason to do so. So there is a connection to people here. There is a reason for them to be there, to be here on this night. You know about the Hounds and why they come out. You don't know what the other thing is in the earth. You don't know that yet. You don't have enough information. The other thing that's present that's not antagonistic, you might figure, is the thing you saw in the window upstairs that you recognized as possibly looking like your mother, but you can only assume that it has something to do with you and your brother. But what is unclear.
They are called here, Angus. Like we are called on high. They are called to this house. Something here. And I do believe it is your Englishman.
He's very hesitant, and he kind of gives you a look of possibly. Like it's one of those nervous, cheeky secrets that he's afraid to kind of release to you. Is that's the look. He goes, the Englishman. Yeah, it's...
For the record, she's throwing noodles at the wall and seeing what sticks. And she's just very anxious about the fact that there's people here in this house with you. She does not know. And I think that you wouldn't be able to tell that is sort of a driving force towards her sort of paranoia.
He's matching your paranoia, but on like a different, like
yeah.
the both of us are very paranoid standing here for two different reasons.
And as you're paranoid standing there, you hear a loud thump coming from downstairs. And then another, and you hear things moving, and it's kind of in the same area as where you put you-know-what, Angus. There's someone rooting around downstairs.
Where are the Englishmen?
I don't know, and he kind of like briskly takes off.
I think with him taking off,
heading towards that direction, Bleak.
City wants to sort of start rounding people up because now she's very upset by these feelings that she is feeling and wants a head count and has no idea how many people are in this house currently.
Okay, so you're heading towards the stairs to go downstairs. Quick question, do you grab your shotgun?
Oh, I stay strapped. It's across my back.
City,
there's
where are you?
wolves and stuff outside. It's the winter.
I will keep that motherfucker thing on me.
City, where do you go? What do you do?
I think she's gonna head to the kitchen where she heard all the crashing plates and china and things, and is very upset that there's people breaking
Breaking the fine bone china. Speaking of the kitchen, Doctors Watson and Helmut, you have gathered your strengths and imbibed a bit of schnapps. The gun hand is less shaky now because regardless of whether or not it is ghost or not, there's one thing you understand, Dr. Watson. It is conflict, and in the conflict you get that rush of adrenaline that steadies you, and you suddenly feel a lot more competent and in your element. And thank you so much, Troll Lord Games, for the massive raid. 50 people coming. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. We are playing Vaesen, and we're playing it in the world of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. It is a game of folk horror, so you know. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate you. What are the two of you doing? You have decided to head out, strike out, and try to find some people. But which direction do you go to, and what are you doing, if anything else?
I was rolling that investigation check, and I'm going to use one of my elementaries to get my 2 dice back that I otherwise would not have had for being inebriated, so... And well, wouldn't you know, I got 2 successes.
Can you remind me what that was, because that was a little while ago.
To investigate the kitchen to see where Father Murtaugh had, if he was amidst the debris of all of the china and plateware that had crashed to the ground.
He is not. However, you do notice a few wet footsteps heading off in the direction of the corridor.
Dr. Helmut, I don't mean to alarm, but there are what look like wet priest feet that wandered off that way. He's no longer here. I suggest perhaps we will make our way. Hmm?
Yes, you as a host, I will follow your lead. Might I get a knife from your butcher block?
How about I do you, well, here's what I can offer you. And I open a drawer, and I pull out a butter knife, and I hand it to you.
Helmut, out of the corner of your eye, you do spy the hatchet near the, that's used for splitting logs to feed into the pot-bellied stove. It's kind of off to the side a little bit. There's a good chance that if at some moment the good doctor is not keeping their eye on you, that you might be able to squirrel it away, if you would like.
I say, most fitting weapon. Thank you. I would hate to investigate this dark circumstances unarmed. I will be right behind you.
This motherfucker. Okay, fine.
So do you turn around?
I think, if I may, because I'm playing with Eric Mana right now, I would like to turn around, but keep a very, like open observational, keeping an eye on my 6 sort of training thing. I would like to hear if I, like, as I'm on my way out, if I hear anything, but I don't want to give away that I know what he might be up to.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do. You're going to have to do a stealth roll one way or the other to grab the axe, Dr. Helmut. So you're going to do precision plus stealth. You do have, I do believe, an elementary kicking around if you want to get an extra 2 dice. That's kicking around if you want that. Thanks to the donation of Varlby Gem. Thank you very much. So you're going to go ahead and do that for me, please, Helmut.
Okay, so precision's 4 and stealth is 2. Does that mean I roll 6 dice?
Yeah, so you're going to grab 6 d6s, and you're looking for at least 1 6, but the more 6s you have, the more critical success it is.
I'm going to hold on to my elementaries, but I think I am going to try and grab that hatchet.
Go for it.
You know, I have actually probably very little sense that Dr. Watson is paying any kind of extra attention to me than normal. I figure Dr. Watson is drunk, so I'm not too worried about Dr. Watson.
For our viewers, you can in fact participate in the game and help out our players through a donation of bits. For 200 bits, you can buy the player of your choice an elementary, or for 500 bits, you can buy every player an elementary. And elementaries give them an advantage to one of their roles. Go ahead, Dr. Helmut. Tell me what you got.
I rolled 2 successes, 2 6s.
2 6s. That's pretty good. You managed to grab the hatchet without too much noise and too much issues. And I will say this for you, Dr. Watson. You don't know what's happening. You're not sure that there's something specific that's happened, but you do kind of feel, yeah, we are doing the Devil's Luck thing, the 666 thing. You do feel that Dr. Helmut is, perhaps a little sus.
What is this?
Yes. And I think John, despite having had several scotches and some gin and now some schnapps, is very, very aware and does not actually trust this man whatsoever. And says, "Come along, Dr. Helmut. I believe Sherlock had maybe crept off upstairs. So, shall we?"
Yes, I will be right behind you. Let us find the famous Sherlock Holmes.
I'm gonna just pull the hammer on the pistol. Just be ready for anything.
And as you're walking out of the kitchen, pulling the hammer, keeping an eye on the doctor, you hear the squeal of a woman as you and Sooty barrel right into each other at the door to the kitchen.
I want to know, Sooty does not squeal. She keens only,
Oh,
like a
good.
banshee.
You keen as you see a strange
Yeah.
Englishman, obviously drunk, and holding a pistol.
Yep.
I'm so sorry. Are you? I'm helping myself up, and I'm trying to help you up. And I go, "Are you a witch?" I'm sorry, that came out wrong. Hello, hi, I'm Dr. Watson. You're in my home. What are you doing here? And are you a human or something else?
Something else.
I'm. My brother is Angus. And
Oh, you're Angus's sister.
yes, human.
What was your name? I'm so sorry. And I help her to get to her feet.
Sooty.
Sooty. Ah, lovely name, truly. Welcome to our home. But what are you doing here?
It's dark. The Hounds and the weather. Angus had me come here.
The Hounds.
Right, you heard them.
Oh yes, dreadful.
Terrible.
Are they? Well, do you know anything about them?
Are you drunk?
Well, I've had a bit of a liquid dinner, yes, but no, I'm quite sober now. As you see, the entirety of the kitchenware has fallen, or rather exploded out of the cabinetry. So gave us a bit of a fright. There's the good doctor, Dr. Helmut, is in the kitchen as well.
Yes, here I am. Hello.
The German.
Yes.
Yes, he's German.
Well, he's all right then. You, however, she kind of gives you a once-over.
Oh, you're Scottish. Aye.
We're,
Well, for what it's worth, I did rather enjoy my time training in Edinburgh at the surgical college after I had left King's College in London. So I'm rather fond of Scotland myself, and quite frankly, I'd rather retire here, but my husband really rather enjoys the city. Anyway,
It makes a lot of sense that the English would come up here and work off the backs of the Scottish.
oh, no, that's not what I meant. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Have you seen either your brother or my husband Sherlock? He's tall and gangling and looks a bit pale, but is rather handsome.
Typically look outside of windows. Yes.
We are also looking for a very damp priest.
Oh, right, we have a wet priest we're looking
Yes,
for.
have you seen a wet priest?
Would I know that they're talking about Father Murdoch? I would imagine. Bleak.
I mean, Father Murdoch is the only priest in the area, so you would probably assume that they're talking about Father Murdoch.
Are you talking about the good Father Murdoch?
I believe that's him. Yeah.
Yes, that is his name, Murdoch.
No, I have not seen him. I'm a bit concerned.
I'm
because
sorry,
of the nature-
Sooty. The other issue with the good Father Murdoch is that you know he's been laid out with a broken leg for a few days now. You had to go down there a couple days ago to bring him some soothers for the pain.
Did you say he? How did he get
Whoa,
here?
holy shit, Varl. Damn.
Thanks, Varl.
Thanks, Varl.
How did he get to
Making my OBS
the
stutter.
house? Did somebody come and help him in here? Was he aided?
He said he had come from giving the last rites to a local nobleman.
That's right, he was all wet.
Sure, but did somebody help him? Was he with somebody, a helper?
I think he was
No.
alone.
He was quite alone, quite
Yes.
upright and able-bodied. He asked for some schnapps, which we had in the pantry.
Yes.
Okay. We have a bit of a problem.
Yes, we can't find him anywhere.
Father Murdoch has broken his leg.
Oh,
Oh, just now.
oh
That
no!
was
No,
rather
no, no.
terrible.
God, he is in the right place. There are two doctors here.
No, darling. Days ago.
What?
He should not have been able to walk here.
Oh, he broke his leg days ago, you say?
Is that what you said, Bleak, days ago?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Yes, days ago.
But he was healthy. He appeared so.
Certainly, he had walked here in the storm. I quite would say he wasn't on a broken leg.
I would like to... Gosh, I don't know if this is applicable. It's not, so never mind.
What?
I was going to see about using my sixth sense in this.
Well, it's what I kind
Moment.
of figured you did earlier when I told you about the various things that were in the area.
Yeah, but specifically for Father Murtaugh, but I don't think it's really applicable in this moment.
Well, what you could do is I'll let you use it and I'll give you information on what you've sensed so far, and then you can kind of figure out who's who.
I think, yeah, okay, that's good. I
The
can do
logic and
that.
investigation.
Okay. I would love to do that for you right now. That's one success.
So with one success, you don't get much more information. You do, as I said, know that there are 3 things that you would qualify as Vaesen in the area. One that is, now 2 that are very close. One that is probably beneficial, one that is kind of gray, and then further out, but getting closer still, one that is definitely bad news.
Okay. I think what you see is Sooty sort of take hold of like the closest wall, and she's sort of not bearing down per se, but she sort of screws her face real tight as she's sort of concentrating on something, and then sort of like a pop of her eyes, and she blinks her eyes open. Right. You've heard the Hounds, though.
Right.
Regrettably,
We
yes.
have a walking Father Murtaugh who did not seem to be in any pain whatsoever.
None.
And now has gotten up, and you've lost him within the house.
Well, we didn't lose him, I would say. We had a rather... And I point back to the kitchen, which is very obviously completely destroyed. We had a rather scary thing happen, and then, we went to check on him, and he was not there.
So here's a trail.
Dr. Watson and Dr. Helmut?
Dr. Helmut, yes. Helmut Weishaupt Stahlberg.
Dr. Helmut, you should know that there is something coming. And it is dark. This is old land here. And there is old things that do not visitors.
Do you speak of these dogs, these hounds?
Yes. Have you not heard them?
Yes.
Sure.
I
Have you not heard them get a little bit closer?
They were all too close when I got out of my car after it had stalled. They chased me halfway to this house.
It was you that I saw then that came up to the house being chased by those hounds.
You saw that?
I did see that. It was quite dignified. You were
I
very
made
brave.
it, did I not? I am here.
You
I am
did,
warm.
yes. Very brave.
I have not been eaten by dogs with glowing eyes and paws.
And I think she looks to Dr. Watson. Her eyes trail and stay on you for a moment, pinning you, I think, in place. I hope that your fate is not so dire as I have seen with these hunting hounds, because that is what they do when they get a little bit closer and a little bit closer. Have you not seen wild hounds like that? They circle and they close that circle in, and then they kill. Dr.
Ooh.
Watson.
Yes, have you seen hounds like this before, Dr. Watson?
I rather say that I have. Well, something akin to it. One of our adventures, mine and Sherlock's. He really is rather brilliant.
Hold on to that thought for a second. We'll come back to you telling that little story in a minute. We're gonna go back upstairs now. where Sherlock, you are about to open the door. You put your hand on the handle and you turn it. Do you open the door?
I do.
Mr. Holmes, Sherlock Holmes, I presume. You hear from down the hall just as you have pushed the door open just about an inch. You hear footsteps and someone approaching you in the hall.
He continues through the door.
You go through, open the door, and step inside. The room is entirely covered. Everything in the room is covered in dust sheets. It's almost as if you're surrounded by these ghosts with all these white drapes over everything. There is a window that is boarded up in one corner, an old fireplace that, as just the flue is open just enough that the wind kind of whistles in through it. As you push the door open and step through, you have another memory, another moment that comes back to you. You remember walking in here, watching your father tying his shirt back up, buttoning his shirt back up, turning towards you and screaming, "Sherlock, get out of there! Get out of here!" And just as he does, you feel Mycroft's hand on your shoulder, pulling you back out of the room and closing the door. And as you stand there, reliving this moment, you feel a hand alight on your shoulder. What do you do?
I think he jumps a little with the hand and turns very quickly.
You stand in front of what appears to be a priest. He has a white brimmed hat on that kind of obscures part of his face, and his collar is turned up. And he smells kind of wet as he stands there. He's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. I thought perhaps you had not heard me when I called out your name earlier. Are you the famous Sherlock Holmes?
Yes, I'm Sherlock.
Fascinating. My name is Father Murtaugh, and the second he says that, you know he's lying. My name is Father Murtaugh. I'm a friend of Angus here, the priest in the area. I got caught out in the storm and headed here for shelter. I wasn't expecting to find so many people here. It's quite wonderful. But I met your friend downstairs, Dr. Watson, who told me that you were Sherlock Holmes. I'm amazed to finally get to meet you, the famous Sherlock Holmes. I thought I'd heard that something had befell you, some sort of... Well, that you weren't doing what you'd been doing for some time, that you were off the case, as it were. Is that true?
I would like to take a moment to deeply study this man in front of me, who I know is lying on at least 2 accounts now, to see if I can pick up any more clues off of him.
Yeah, you can go ahead and make a logic, and actually it would be an empathy and observation roll. Let me see if you have anything that would... yeah, so you can make an empathy and observation. You also have your elementary that you can use once per session, but you don't have to use it here. It's just an option that you have. Otherwise, go ahead and make sense.
Yeah.
You got a whole bunch. People have donated a whole bunch.
Yeah,
of
I'm
bits.
gonna use some of my elementary.
Thanks to
one of my elementaries as well.
Thanks to Varl and to Miko for the sub donations, and to Varl also for the gems, and somebody else who came in with the raid from Troll Lord. Also, I'll try to scroll up and find who it was, but someone else also donated some bits for you all.
Thank you.
Someone will find it, and I'm sure. B-Town MC threw out some bits for you, and Fosco Lockright threw out some bits for you also. Thank you so much, gang.
Beautiful.
What did you get on your roll?
2 successes.
2 successes. You are incredibly taken aback. And I am going to send you a little message here.
Okay.
The amazing, world-famous Sherlock Holmes off his game. Say it ain't so.
Am I off my game? Why are you lying about your name and how you've been out so far along in the weather you're hardly wet enough for a winter like this?
Well, I can't help it if I move so quickly that the snow barely has a chance to alight on my shoulders. And as for why I'm here, well, I would think the answer is obvious. Isn't it obvious, Sir Holmes?
You spying on me? Keeping
never.
tabs?
I would never do such a thing. However, I am told that there have been things happening in this house that are perhaps, well, not to our liking. Not to my liking, at least. And I wanted to take a bit of a gander on it. Imagine my surprise finding you here.
Imagine my surprise finding you here.
Isn't that always the case, though? Always surprising you. The astute, wonderful, observant Sherlock Holmes, always surprised. Well, I guess I can pat myself on the shoulder for that. Your husband seems to be in quite the state downstairs.
Yes. That is why I am upstairs.
Oh, marital troubles? Has the good doctor been having difficulty dealing with, well, the ramifications of what he has encountered in Scrooge's home? I see it has put a pep in your step, but...
He is a simpler creature, yes. That's fine. John has his uses.
Well, I've found it remarkable how quite brilliant he's been at reining in your worst impulses. That's
Don't
what...
you have a master somewhere to tug your leash elsewhere?
In time, I'm sure, but... Well, I worry about you. I worry about John. The two of you are such a wonderful, wonderful couple. I sometimes fear that your inability to engage properly with other human beings might, well, be the death knell. And I would so hate to see the two of you fall apart.
Sherlock reaches out and kind of fingers out that white collar from the priest and pops it off. It's really a sick joke, isn't it?
Well, I've always had a bit of a higher calling. After all, one should find a superior that is actually his superior. Those are hard to find in the mortal world.
You know, if your head gets any larger, you're going to float up to the clouds and hopefully it'll explode. Do you have anything else to bother me with right now? I'm quite busy.
No, but I'm sure you might want to look under that particular dust sheet over there. I think you'll find something of interest there. Meanwhile, I'm going to go back downstairs and hang out with the doctors. They're both quite drunk, and I think only one of them is actually a doctor. And, well, they're entertaining nonetheless.
Oh, so you've noticed as well.
Yes. I'm surprised
Well
that
then, pop off.
you should probably have a bit of a discussion with them. I think you would find it most enlightening.
I'm sure.
Ta.
When I'm done here, I'll come downstairs.
He turns around and, whistling that fucking tune that you hate so much when he whistles, he heads on out the corridor, and you turn and see what he pointed at, which is a painting on the wall with a dust sheet over it.
Sherlock, like a petulant child, stomps over to that painting and tears the sheet off of it. And he's just kind of mumbling to himself about, always being in my business, bothering me, showing up at the worst fucking times. Could he just go find someone else to bother?
And you pull the dust sheet off the painting, and downstairs, Angus, you are slowly creeping your way down the rickety, creaking wooden stairs that lead down into the cellar. Tell me, how are you doing this, and what is your approach?
I have my shotgun aimed at any center mass, and I have a stormlight in my other hand. So I have the shotgun tucked under my arm, finger on the trigger, so it's steadied by the weight between the pressure, and then a storm lantern in the other hand to kind of guide my way through the cellar.
You walk down. Go ahead and give me a logic and vigilance roll.
Three successes.
You walk down, and at first, you don't notice anything. You do see in the corner the area where you did the deed. You can clearly see, perhaps somebody else who doesn't know what happened here would not notice, but you can't help but notice how the earth is somewhat disturbed in that corner, how it has recently been dug up and refilled. And then, from the shadows, the wall moves. Just at the edge of your lamp, the wall moves. And as you turn and shine your lantern in the corner, you see a broad, large face atop a broad, large body, dressed in a leather sort of hood. The skin green and mottled and covered in horns and dry patches. And this thing that is looking at you is bent over double because it is so big and so tall that it barely fits inside the cellar. And it smiles. And there's a twinkle in its eye. And you can tell it's about to do something. What do you do?
When you say it's about to do something, like, is it about to move? Is it...
No, it's a feeling, a little hoogity boogity feeling you get, kind of like when your sister does her weird shit.
Yeah, hoogity boogity. So, not everybody's going to see it, but Bleak, you can see it. So standing like this, I do one of these bucking movements. I go, ha, to see if it does anything. And if it does, if it moves a pinky toe, if it has one, I'm popping two off in this thing. Cracking off some salt in this bitch. Sorry, I've had sugar.
It very much does something. You can see that it smiles, and you can see that while you were doing that and while it was smiling at you, it has reached in its bell pouch and pulled out what appears to be some kind of charm, a long leather thong with bones and various pieces of rocks and things on it, and it shakes it once, and you know something's about to happen. But tell me what you do.
I shoot it.
Go ahead.
Preferably in the mouth.
Go ahead and roll precision and ranged combat.
Okay, and so being that one of my talents is marksman, I get a +2 for ranged combat on my first round. Okay, so when it says successfully attacking or ambushing. So I would need to succeed on this roll for me to get a +2.
No, you can go ahead and take it right now.
Okay, I can take it right now. Can you tell me again what to roll? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it's going to be a precision and ranged combat.
Okay. And okay, give me a second here, because that's 4d6 that I have. Three, 1, 2, 3. That is 5 successes.
Thank you very much for the raid. We just got a
More
raid
raids.
from Lies You'll Enjoy. I do enjoy a good lie. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm playing some Vaesen, peppered with some Sherlock Holmes. You fire your shotgun at the troll just as it moves this little charm of it, and it jingle jangles throughout the darkness. Your shot illuminates the entirety of this tight little root cellar. Upstairs, Dr. Watson, you were about ready to tell the story of the Hound of the Baskerville. Am I wrong?
No, you're right, darling. You're right. Well, before Sherlock and I were married, you see, we had spent some time together. I was following him, seeing what his mind was like. And we found ourselves in the company of a man we knew as Jack Stapleton, who seemed to have been, well, there was a whole convoluted background. And
Are we going to go through the whole cast of characters, or was there ghosts and trolls?
No, there were no ghosts and no trolls, but there were indeed hounds. In fact, one
Yes.
massive hound that appeared to be demonic, almost aflame, with these wild eyes. And we come to find out, after Sherlock's brilliant deduction, that in point of fact it was rather a large dog that had been painted with phosphorus to make it look diabolical. And you see, the whole time it was not fantastical or supernatural or anything. It was simply a plot, a whole slew of nobles vying for power and money and land and everything.
How could it be that you are vexed by a false demonic dog, and then there are real demonic dogs surrounding us now? Are you and your husband truly cursed?
Well, sometimes I would imagine we are.
I do believe, Dr. Watson, and your fear of this demonic hound might be very much real.
I don't understand. There's no such thing as demon dogs.
Oh, there are such things as much worse than demon dogs, Dr. Helmut.
I'm inclined to believe the woman who I've just met. For some strange reason, she strikes me as someone who knows what a demon dog might look like.
Can
Because
you,
I know.
Dr. Watson, I'm sorry to interrupt, but can you, whilst this is going on, give me an empathy and observation roll?
Yes, I can. I would like, if I may, to
my God.
push.
You can push. Pushing will give you a mental condition.
What else is new for Dr. Watson?
Mental problems, man. Well, hot diggity dog, that's the devil's luck.
All right, choose your mental condition.
I'll choose it. You know, I think frightened is probably pretty good.
As this discussion is going on and you're thinking about this whole story and everything, and the doctor element is acting kind of squirrely, and you're sort of slowly sobering up with the time that has passed now and the adrenaline that's going through your body. And there's something about Dr. Helmet. There's something about Dr. Helmet that now that you look at him kind of closely and closer, there's something kind of familiar about him, and there's something very kind of pretty sure that. And as you're just about to put your finger on it, you hear the blast of a double-barreled shotgun going off just beneath where you are in the cellar. Sooty, you know that's where Angus went a few moments ago, rushing off into the cellar. Now you hear this blast of this double-barreled shotgun going off. What do you do, my friends?
I take Dr. Watson by the hand and I am calling out for Angus and attempting to drag Dr. Watson with me down to that cellar.
Watson is following as readily as he's able with his bum knee and is keeping just like one eye on Helmut to make sure.
I will come with you. Rest assured, I will be right at your back.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm sure.
And what does Helmut do?
He follows Watson, a couple of steps behind.
Oh, excellent. You come down the stairs and you find Angus. Angus, you shot the troll. It took the blast full bore, kind of reeled back a little bit, and then looked at you with this shit-eating grin on its face. That's when you realized you'd fired both barrels, and you started trying to reload really quickly. And it started moving towards you, and it reached out a hand towards you, and you could see that the bullets had done absolutely nothing to it. And it reached out to grab you, and just as it did, the door upstairs opened, and you hear Sooty's voice, and you see the troll look up, see who's coming down, and goes, "Eat you later." And he sinks into the ground and disappears.
Eat you later. Like he's looking at the ground and he's like, "Eat you later." Like he says it out loud in shock.
You find your
Finishes
brother
reloading.
at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah. Just quickly. Quickly spins around and like you see him pointing the shotgun at like you all know he's coming down the stairs.
Sooty is going to haul tail towards Angus. I think she still has Watson by the hand. I don't know why, but she does. She's not letting go of this wily Englishman. And she calls out to Angus and says, "Angus, what happened? What did you shoot?"
It was, and he kind of looks at Watson and looks back at Sooty and is like, "It was one of your," and he's so hesitant to say it, but if he didn't see it with his own eyes, he wouldn't. It was a troll.
A troll.
A troll, Sooty. Green, big hands. Said he would eat me later.
Well, where was he?
And he points in the direction of where they were. And then he points at the floor and he goes, "And he sunk into the floor there."
Right. Well, I'll have none of that. Watson's still in hand. As long as Dr. Watson is not resisting, drags him along with her and points down to the ground. I feel like Sooty at this point has gone into, "This is my brother. I have to protect him. I am putting on a brave face," and shouts down to the ground where the troll allegedly sank into the ground and says, "Gonna nae do that?"
Angus goes to where Sooty is and he goes, "What are you doing?"
"I'm giving the troll the what for."
Is that going to prevent it from coming back?
Well, I'm not sure. I haven't had to deal with a troll before, I don't believe. So
Sooty, it said it was going to eat me. It said it was going to eat me.
And I said, "Gonna
consume
do that."
me. Jeez.
So perhaps I'll strike the fear of something into its heart. A mad woman. I'm a mad woman.
And he's standing there with his eyes closed and he's like, "Oh, God." Okay.
Sooty, as all this is going on, you catch something out of the corner of your eye. Off in the corner of the room, you hear a song, a little lullaby your mother used to sing to you a long time ago. It wafts in to you from the corner, and when you look up, you see for a very brief moment, off in the corner of the cellar, her image floating. And then she disappears.
I think you very quietly hear Sooty just whisper, "Mather." And she's dropping Watson's hand.
Dr. Watson, could you provide my sister and I a moment, please?
And Dr. Helmut.
Yes, I am here as well. I'm happy to stay with you and your sister.
No, no.
He turns the gun so quickly to Doctor because
You could wait upstairs by the vestibule.
He's
Yes,
like,
you know, we will go
Come,
together.
Watson. Yes, let us
We will
step
go
upstairs.
Together.
Hmm.
Perhaps we will find my husband somewhere.
Where has he gone to?
The fuck if I know. He's like I told you, he's a house cat. He might be asleep on a chair somewhere, and I don't know.
Perhaps we should find him and put his famous intellect to work on this
Well,
mystery.
I hope so. So long as he's not vomited in my slippers again.
The two of you
Again!
start heading up. Still something bothering you a lot about Helmet, Dr. Watson. There's a familiarity there. You feel like you've met him before, or maybe talked to him, maybe at a medical school or something, but there's a familiarity there. But as you are climbing back up the stairs and the siblings are about to have a little heart-to-heart in the root cellar, we go back upstairs to the top room, where you pull the dust sheet off the painting, and for a moment, Sherlock, what you see is not the painting, but you see her, the woman, her back. You see her wearing that green dress with that green ribbon, her long, dark black hair cascading down her back as she's walking away from you. The last time you saw her before she was killed in an alleyway, like a dog, gutted by Lord knows whom. You've never been able to figure it out. That wasn't quite the last time you saw her. You remember seeing her again, standing outside 221B Baker Street at night, looking at you through the window the night before your wedding to Dr. Watson. And that was the last time you saw her. And this image, fleeting, disappears. And you see a portrait of a woman, simple portrait of a woman in a kitchen that looks very much like the kitchen downstairs. She has chestnut hair. She's wearing an apron and is baking something. There's a bit of sunlight coming in through the window. And you remember her. You remember who this woman is. What do you do?
I would like to use my elementary talent at this point on this portrait.
Elementary, once per session, you can ask the Game Master to explain how clues are connected. I'm going to send you a message, because I think Sherlock should put things together and not the GM. I'll send you a message, but tell us a little bit while I do that, what's going through your mind and what's happening as you have these visions of these different women in these different situations.
I feel, looking at this portrait, that there's a bit of ire in Sherlock, and that ire is kind of rising, especially with the knowledge of who the good father is skulking about this house, and he's growing in his frustration now at this point, wishing he would have stayed in the city, where perhaps he would have caught the sight of more ghosts and ghouls of the Scrooge Manor, and not drudging up the past that he'd just as rather forget.
You can take a look at the note I just sent you. Meanwhile, we'll go back downstairs to the siblings, and we'll come back up to the doctors in the middle of the house. You are downstairs alone in the dark, Angus and Sooty. It's quiet, the wind outside howling. You hear the baying of the hounds, but it seems almost immaterial right now as you stand. I imagine that Angus is standing on the ground floor and Sooty's on like 3 steps higher, and now they're at eye level.
Okay, Sooty, Alright, I have to tell you something.
What is it?
I think part of the reason for the hounds are not just the Englishmen, even though they are the reason for me doing it.
What have you done?
Our mother is here.
What are you saying, Angus?
She's here. I brought her bones here. And he slowly turns and he points in the direction of where they are in the room. I needed them. I saw one of your books. And it said something about ghosts haunting places where their remains remain. And I thought bringing her here would scare away the Englishmen to where we could finally have this home.
Oh, Angus. How could you do that?
I was concerned about us, and it wasn't right. It's not right for these stuffy, snooty Englishmen to just show up whenever they want, and we're supposed to be at their beck and call to make sure that their fire is hot and their whiskey is endless. We've taken care of this house more.
I don't want this bloody house.
That's all we have, Sooty.
It might be all that you have, but it's not all that I have.
What else you got?
I have a lover, Angus.
When? Who? How come you've never told me?
The woodwife out in the woods, out there, where I spend all my days. Yes.
What are they? The lumbermen? Is that their trade?
No, Angus. It is something beyond our world.
They sell wood outside of Scotland?
No, Angus. Beyond the veil.
They're married.
Oh my god, Angus, it is a supernatural being!
Okay, so...
And it's real! It's real! She's real!
If it wasn't for what I just saw previously, I'd wring your neck with my words because I'd never put a hand on your city. So you mean to tell me that you have a fairy lover?
And I intend to keep her, and if in order to keep her, I must marry her, and I can't do that without your blessing. And if you want me to ever be happy again, and for you to ever be happy again, then you'll give me that blessing, damn it.
So if I don't, I'm cursed? I mean, I did too good of what else is addition to what's happening tonight.
You'll only be cursed in the way that I'll never speak to you again.
You would
That's
leave me
that.
for a fairy?
No, because without your blessing, I can't leave with the fairy.
So you'd be shut up in here, regretting every decision you made?
I would be the ghost in your life then. I don't like ultimatums, Angus, and you know this very well. And I'm here to do anything to make you happy in return because you are my brother and I love you. But I want this too for me.
Are they nice to you?
Lovely.
And they
They're nice.
intend to stay that way?
Forever.
It's a long time. Especially
I
being
should
in a
hope.
fairy.
I should hope so.
And this will make you happy.
Yes.
I am more than happy to give you my blessing if that's what you need. If you will be happy under two conditions. I have two.
What are they?
The first one, help me get rid of whatever's happening here. Because I don't know what to do.
Well, you've come to the right person. We need to lay those bones to rest, Angus, and you don't know damn well that that is truth.
Second thing,
All right.
I'd like to meet your fairy lover.
That's fair. Fair enough. Shake on it, and she spits in her hand and pulls it out.
He spits in his hand too, and it's like a firm grass shake, and he goes, not in a bad way. I just want to say hello.
I believe I could arrange that for you then. Right.
Fine, go on. Flutter in the woods, you fairy.
And as you say that,
This is like a little jab.
as you say that, the ground beneath you rumbles, and you see two giant arms come rushing out of the ground, and you hear a deep rumbling voice that said, I said, bring me to. You too will do, as these hands reach out to grab you. One of them grabs Sooty and starts dragging her under the ground. You can see the troll's maw opened as it drags her down, and the other hand is reaching for you, Angus. Meanwhile, upstairs,
Oh, sure.
the good
It's
doctors,
fine.
the two good doctors, having climbed back up to the second floor, you can hear the siblings talking downstairs. It seems a little bit emotional. You can hear someone moving upstairs. Not sure exactly what's going on. There's no wet priest anywhere, but the two of you are in the hallway now, alone. It's very dark, and you hear that baying of the hounds getting closer and closer and closer.
We need to find. Oh, go ahead.
No,
Yes.
by all means.
We need to find your husband.
I certainly agree. Let's try upstairs, and while we're walking, do you mind if I just ask you a quick question?
Of course not. My life is an open book.
How do I know you, Dr. Helmut?
I'm sorry.
How do I know you?
Perhaps it was a medical conference in Stuttgart. Have you been to Germany?
Why, yes, I have. So,
Well, then that explains it. It must have been a medical conference. Yes.
No.
Sherlock Holmes.
There's something about you, dear Helmut. Something that strikes me as very familiar. I just can't quite put my finger on it.
Well, I can't imagine what it might be. Perhaps if we spoke to your husband, we could all figure it out together. He's very wise. Is it not true that he is the wisest consulting detective in all of London? Is it not true that he has shattered thousands of lives with his case? Is it not true that he is one of the wisest and smartest men in the world? Surely the two of you, united in matrimony, could figure out any mystery.
Of course. I'm sorry, Helmut. Where did you say that you were from again?
I must have said, I'm from Stuttgart in Germany.
I want to roll about this.
All right, go ahead and make an empathy plus observation roll, and let me see what your talents are. If there's anything that might help you.
I did have the devil's luck on something, but I know you're probably holding it for something.
No, you had the devil's luck, and I know what it's for, and it's don't worry, it's gonna pop up when.
That's 2 successes.
He's definitely lying to you, and that accent is faker than, like, you know...
No.
It's
I know.
faker than Sherlock's belief that he's a good violin.
Excuse you.
What a
Hello.
burn.
Wow.
Someone's catching strays here. This is not good.
Wow. Honestly.
Dodge the weevil.
Yes, I just file it away in the back of my mind. And I say, yes, of course, Stuttgart. Of course. Sherlock, darling, are you upstairs?
And you hear the hounds baying just outside the door. You're certain that they're just in the courtyard now. The howl of these 2 hounds in unison ricochets through this entire house, makes the window panes rattle, makes little tchotchkes fall off of shelves. Everything moves and trembles. And you hear at the same time screaming coming from downstairs in the basement.
Keening, Bleak.
Meanwhile,
She's
keening. There's some keening coming from downstairs. Meanwhile, upstairs, Sherlock, you have had some, well, thoughts on everything that's happening. You've had some ideas, but you're standing upstairs right now. What are you doing?
At this point, Sherlock is going to go back downstairs and assess whatever kind of state John is in at this point, and try to get an eye on Angus and his sister. He's came to a few revelations and needs to check on everybody's current state.
As you start heading down the stairs, you see the priest there. He is packing his pipe, and he says, I trust that painting brought back certain memories.
It did.
I was wondering when you were going to catch on. I did tell you all about it.
That's why you're here.
I'm interested in what you think we should do about it. Obviously, this manor, everything it stands for, is of little value to us, but it is, by law, our. I've been pondering what to do. I thought perhaps a simple problem might require a simple solution, and you are, of course, the simplest thinker I know, and so I thought, why not ask Sherlock?
It's truly surprising to see you out here. Normally you're so much lazier. But here you are.
Al noblesse oblige.
I personally would like for none other than no reason for John to drag me out to this again. Nothing interests me here.
There are things that do interest you here. These unexplainable things. You finally brushed up against something that you don't quite understand, that don't follow the rules you've spent your entire life subjugated to. These rules you've spent your entire life mastering, and now you're excited, aren't you, Sherlock? Aren't you a little bit excited about this entirely new, unknown world that is now laid out before a world, of course, that I have known about for a very, very long time, that we, in fact, have known about for a very, very long time, and that is growing increasingly problematic.
Barking dogs on the moors. I've been there before. Strange visages of women in mirrors. Parlor tricks. Are you here to tell me that you too believe in ghosts?
I believe only in what my eyes have seen and what empirical evidence is provided for me, and well, I have seen empirical evidence of their existence. You should really listen to your husband more. I know that perhaps sometimes your heart and your mind is absorbed still in that elusive perfume that haunts you, but John cares very much for you. Too much, perhaps, in fact. I find it kind of self-destructive in him, but he is very keenly aware of what is out there, and I believe that you would be much better off if you could get his, well, shall we say, undivided support. He hurts right now. He needs you to understand that he's been through something difficult that has challenged him, and what excites you frightens him, and, well, that is why we commit to unions, isn't it? So that we can help each other out at our weakest points.
That's why I'm here. Taking care of him. In the best way that I know how.
Well, perhaps you should let him know that. Trust you to handle the house however you want. I'll be on my way before someone catches on that I'm not Father Murtaugh. I believe he has a broken leg. I didn't know when I picked this particular disguise that he had a broken leg. A broken leg! Can you imagine that? A priest. God is not looking out for his own shepherds.
You not knowing something. Does it hurt you to not know something for once? To not know every single little detail?
How can one know anything out here? There is absolutely nothing. It's sheep patty after sheep patty after sheep patty, and low bothy houses that have bad insulation, and it's all quite dreadful. I'm on the way back to New York on the first train tonight. I trust you'll handle matters here.
Of course, I will.
And I must say, catching on to how wet my vestments were, or were not, was, well, rudimentary at best.
Goodbye, Mycroft. He's going to very petulantly stomp away down the stairs.
As you stomp away and turn the corner, you run into your husband and Dr. Helmet right behind him. Your husband has a gun in hand, and he seems to not be too under the influence of alcohol anymore.
Hello, darling.
John,
Yes.
I see things have escalated. Why do you have a gun in your hand, John?
Well, there was the wet priest that was wandering about, and then we ran into Sooty, who is Agnes's sister, and there in the basement, I think she might be being eaten by a troll. And also, and I'm imagining, if I might, Sherlock, that we would probably have some sort of code or way of speaking or code phrase that would give sense of this person is not who they seem.
For sure, we would. We would.
Also, I noticed that there was a great horned owl on the branch outside.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I saw no owl.
Sherlock is going to look at Dr. Helmet.
Dr. Helmet Weishaupt Stahlberg.
I love him. What a treat. Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm going to kind of observe him a little closer for a moment in the guise of brushing like a speck of dirt off of his shoulder, maybe a bit of dander.
Sorry, was that for me?
That was for you, yeah.
Please,
no, it's
please,
okay.
Oh, please,
I'm gonna use my my astute observation to give Dr. Helmut a closer looky-loo, knowing some of the things I already know.
As you approach the good doctor to give him the once-over, a lot of you hear screams coming from downstairs. You hear keening, very, very specifically keening and screaming, and a very loud barrel-chested laugh, and stairs cracking and breaking apart, and both Angus and Sooty screaming for their lives. What do you do?
What is keening?
Wailing.
Screaming.
It's like wailing.
High-pitched wailing.
High-pitched wailing, banshee
Okay.
wailing. Yeah.
Okay.
Who are you asking what does who do?
All
Bleak?
three of you, as you are upstairs and hearing this screaming downstairs.
I'm going to try to grab both Watson and Sherlock by the wrist. Not in necessarily more of like a pay attention to me way than like I'm trying to drag them. So,
You cannot.
and I'm going to say, the solution to this problem has presented itself. He only needs 2. He already has the 2 quarry that he was promised. We just leave it be. Just leave it be and we can focus on the Hounds. Do not worry about the servants. They'll be taken care of.
Who needs 2 of what? I'm sorry.
There is a troll in the basement.
So we should probably go down there, darling, shall we?
No! You should stay up here. Do not go in the basement.
I think Sherlock gives you a very narrowed, scrutinizing
Oh, no.
look, and just kind of offhandedly before turning, says, "Aren't you quite tired of that accent yet?" And he just turns around and is going to flit off towards where these horrible loud sounds are happening.
And at that, Dr. Helmut says, "Oh, sod the fucking accent! Don't go into the basement!"
And as
Well,
you
well,
hear
well.
that voice with the accent, Watson, the rest of your devil's luck kicks in. I just sent you a message, and you come to that real.
Well, well, well. Jack, it's been a dog's age.
Yes, you might say a hound's age. Have you grown no wiser in the passing years?
Well, your games are. Well, boring.
Yes, well, it has been some time, and you have, ever since you left me on the moors back in all those years ago, have you not seen it, Mr. Wise Sherlock Holmes? Do you not recognize your old friend Stapleton? Or perhaps you know me as Vandeleur, or perhaps my true name, Roger Baskerville the Third. Thank you, dog.
I'm afraid I quite realized who you were, but I figured I would give John a chance to solve the riddle for
Oh, how kind, as you always are. Look, your 2 servants will be devoured. That will take care of the troll. Now all we must do is cast off these dogs, which I promise you I have nothing to do with. They are not part of my complex and brilliant revenge schema.
Jack,
Perhaps we could just propose an exchange in the basement. And Sherlock looks to
Okay.
Watson.
I like that idea, really. Rather.
No. Pete Moss needs 2 corpses.
Come then, Jackie boy. You wouldn't have a sidearm on you, would you?
I've got this hatchet. And he holds up the hatchet from the...
Sherlock looks to Watson again. Well, I think gun beats hatchet.
It surely does. And while our murder problems may have seemed quite on display, we're still a partnership. And you,
Always.
and I point my gun directly at his chest, are going down to the basement with us.
Oh, I shan't.
Yes, you will. And I poke him.
Very well. But Pete Moss needs 2 bodies. Who will be the second if you so cruelly cast me to my fate? As you once did on the moors.
Well, you're the one who bought the dog.
Yes, that was a long time ago. It was a brilliant scheme if you had not cracked it like an egg. God damn you, Sherlock Holmes! And you too, Watson.
Shall we?
We shall.
On the way, I take off my belt and I tie it around Jack's wrists, and I lead him with his wrists behind him.
I guess I allow myself to be tied up.
I would. Well, okay, I would.
The game is lost.
I would certainly. Okay, let me back it up. I would certainly attempt to strap him up and whatnot.
He says he's gonna try to resist a little bit, but not as forcefully as you think. He's like, "Look, man, I have no qualm with you any longer. I've changed. Yes, I made a deal with this creature, but I do not need it any longer. That deal has failed, like my scheme with the Hounds. I've given up on it. Now, just let him consume the 2 servants, and we shall all be able to walk out of here together. We can go our separate ways if you wish."
What's the phrase I'm looking for? No fucking way.
It really is a shame that Mycroft only just slipped away a moment ago.
Who is Mycroft?
I think Sherlock just stares at you with that, is even touched in the head, maybe.
I have no idea. I don't know if he doesn't know these things.
Lead the way to the basement, and we shall speak with Pete Moss, the troll. Perhaps I can dissuade him from... Well, I don't know. I hope I can make him eat those 2 servants faster. There! And I'm like, those are the 2 I got for you, Pete Moss! Chew them up! I'll just be out the front, then. Ooh, there's Hounds. Ooh, there's Hounds.
Going downstairs.
Oh, fine. I'll follow them downstairs.
Start heading down the stairs. Meanwhile, downstairs, the 2 siblings are being dragged down into the earth by Pete Moss. I would like for Bones to go ahead and give me a empathy plus magic roll.
I would love to do that. I want it known that she is whacking Pete Moss like a naughty child. You stop that.
I'm
your
biting
goals,
his very large thumb.
That is 1 success. Can I... Never mind. It's too late.
What? No, you can use you can roll 2 more dice. You have a bunch of.
Okay. That makes 2 a success.
This is a troll. You know that trolls are difficult to deal with, but not unreasonable. They have intellect and a certain degree of empathy, and are able to enter into deals and to discussing. So that's one avenue. The other avenue that you have is that you know that trolls are very susceptible to the trappings and the iconography of Christianity. They fear it more than anything else. You remember very keenly. Mother was a very Christian, God-fearing woman. And you know that in no way, shape, or form would she ever have gotten buried without her beloved over crucified.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Okay.
these things. What
Okay.
would the 2 of you like to do? Ian?
Here's what Sooty is going to do. I'm going to use my talent, Strike Fear, on the troll.
All right, go for it.
They-
You choose a victim, and you have to pass either logic or empathy, whichever one you like.
Okay.
You gain a bonus dice equal to the number of friendly, which is 1 currently.
Mm-hmm. My logic and my empathy are the same, so it's tomato, tomato.
And he's going to roll his logic against 1 because it's fear level 1.
Is there a way that I could provide a physical distraction to where mentally this is easier for Sooty to manage?
You already do, because you're a friendly in the area, she already gets an extra dice for you. What would you like to do, though? If you want to do something like that, you can certainly...
Yeah, I want to just be a menace. Like, if he's grabbing for us, like, I'm trying to, like, be squarely. I'm like I said, if I'm biting and moving and punching and I'm trying to, like, physically...
Give me a physique plus force roll.
Physique
if I were
plus
to
force...
Can you give me the mechanics of pushing a roll?
Yeah, you
Bleak?
basically reroll everything that's not a 1 or a 6.
Mm-hmm.
But you will take a, in this case, mental condition.
Okay, I'm gonna push the roll. Okay, that's much better. That's 1 success. And do I choose the mental condition?
Yeah, except broken.
I'm gonna choose angry.
I have 3 successes.
3 successes. All right. You're dodging and weaving and being a menace to this troll. You are doing your strike fear. Go ahead. Did you make your roll?
I did. I got 1 success after pushing.
1 success after pushing. Unfortunately, as you use your power, it chuckles and chortles. Trollcraft. My people invented that. You cannot affect me with trollcraft. And he keeps dragging you down. He's like, ugh, you're a pest, as he's like kind of being bothered by your brother. At that moment, the rest of you come down the stairs. You see this troll as emerge from the ground and is trying to kind of swallow up the 2 siblings and drag them into the ground. Let's do an initiative just so that we have an order for everyone. Initiative in this game is done with cards. I think at least one of you has a power that affects initiative. John, maybe?
Just gives me.
Yeah, you get 2 and you choose 1, right?
Yes.
Start with you. Anybody else?
Nope.
You get to choose between 2 and 7. 2 would go first. 7 would go later in the round. Okay. So John will go at 2. Sherlock will go at 6. Helmut at 1.
Yes.
8 for Sooty and 5 for Angus. Please remember your number, as we'll keep the same numbers throughout the...
What was my number? I didn't hear you, Blake.
8.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Dr. Helmut. As you're being dragged downstairs, you see Pete Moss there, as is trying to drag the other 2 down into the ground. You are surrounded by Sherlock and Watson. What would you like to do?
Oh, man. What's the marching order on the stairs? Am I between Sherlock and Watson?
I feel like we wouldn't let you be last.
Right.
That's
I feel like that too, but I figured, are you both behind me, or am I in between the 2 of you?
I just, at this point, don't trust you, so I think you'd probably be in front of both of us.
All right. Bleak, can you describe what the troll is currently doing?
Yeah, the troll basically has emerged from the ground, and he's got one massive hand wrapped around Sooty, and he's trying to drag her into the ground with him, and he's got the other one that's battling Angus. He hasn't wrapped it around because Angus got 3 success on his force rolls. They're kind of like duking it out with his offhand.
Okay, I'm going to try to speak to the troll. And I'm going to say, Pete Moss, thank you for your assistance. Have a meal of all of them! And I'm going to try to grab Watson and shove him down the stairs.
Physique and close combat.
All right.
Can I resist this?
Wait, aren't
No.
your arms bound by a belt right now?
I mean, sure, yeah. And I'm using my shoulders and my neck, and I'm just trying to...
Absolutely, and you'll be able to do it, and you'll be able to do it at a disadvantage. So you will Roll
Okay.
your physique plus close combat, but you will subtract 2 dice.
What do I roll?
Subtract 2. Okay, so total them up and then subtract 2 dice from the total.
That's right. And
Okay.
I'm going to say, Dr. Watson, that between the troll down there and the order of march and everything, that it's probably going to kind of surprise you. So I'm going to let him roll. He's affected by the disadvantage anyway, so that gives you a chance.
So this is a physique and what?
Close combat.
Close combat.
Actually, you can try if you want, Dr. Watson. You can try to dodge, but that takes your action later down in the round. You have to give up that action to be able to
Let
dodge.
me help you make a decision.
No.
Because I'm going to use one of my elementaries on this. Elementary! My dear Watson.
They roll 2 extra dice.
Yes. So what does that do again to my roll?
You add 2 extra dice.
Okay, so it cancels out the thing. So I have 3d6. What's my target number?
You need to roll 1-6.
Okay. No, I totally fail.
You can attempt to push if you want, where you can re-roll all your failures, but you will take a condition.
What would be an example of the type of condition I might take?
They're on the condition monitor there, so you would either take.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna
in
do
this
that.
case,
Let's
it'll
do
be a
or die.
physical one, which will reduce all your dice pool by 1 for physical tests.
Okay, well, I'm going to definitely try to do it. I'm going to try and Hulk out of my bonds and shove Watson. Oh, I got a 6. 1-6.
Watson, you get bumped in the back.
Can I capitalize on... I know Watson, so I capitalize on Watson's bad knee. And that's what I kind of throw my weight into to knock him down the
Your
stairs.
knee buckles, Watson, as you start tumbling down the stairs right towards where the troll is. You do get an action at 2, Watson. As you are falling down, what would you like to do?
Remember when I bullied Mona into playing this game with me?
Yeah, that was wise.
Now I'm being bullied in return.
You're being murdered, not bullied, just to be clear.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
So I have tumbled down the stairs. Am I supine? What's happening?
I'm going to say that you are in flight, falling down.
Cool. I don't know. I was in the military and have a lot of stuff in that. I feel like maybe I would like tuck and roll, and I'm gonna call this. I'm gonna tuck and roll, and I'm going to attempt to pull my gun out and retaliate and shoot him in the same knee that's bad for me.
No!
Go ahead and make a precision and ranged combat. Because you're making a called shot, you're going to do it at disadvantage, but you can spend a whatchamacallit to...
Yeah, I'm gonna spend a whatchamacallit to negate it, and I'm also gonna use one to get 2 extra dice. So I'm gonna use 2 in one go to roll 9. Listen to that. Listen to that
That
one.
sounds really nice. Sounds like a shattered knee.
I got 2 successes.
You take the bullet to the knee, Dr. Helmut. You feel your kneecap shatter as your leg buckles under
Jesus
you,
Christ.
and you start rolling down the stairs towards the troll that awaits you. At 5, it'll be Angus. You can see that your sister is being grabbed and kind of pulled down by this troll. The other guys are shooting each other and falling down the stairs. What would you like to do?
Do I notice that Dr. Helmut is like rolling towards me?
Sure.
He no longer
absolutely.
sounds German. You probably noticed that too.
Yeah. How close is the doctor to us?
You'll roll down the stairs soon enough. What would you like to do?
I want to get my sister out of the grasp of this troll. That's what I want to do. And I kind of, if I can, because I still have my shotgun, I'd like to point blank at the wrist of the troll.
We'd like to, sorry.
I'd like to shoot the troll in the wrist point blank with my shotgun.
So you are aware that your shot earlier did nothing to it. Just
Like,
pointing it
like
out.
nothing. I'd
Nothing
like,
at
they
all.
just straight tanked it, huh? Okay. And I know nothing about trolls. Okay. Well, then I'd like to try and get my sister out of the grasp of the troll. I'd like to get Sooty out the grasp. Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and give me a physique plus force.
Strong. Be strong.
We're real strong. Oh, I'm so fucking strong. That's 5 successes. Hell yeah.
Whoa.
Let's ride. Let's ride.
Whoa!
Hulk.
You pull him.
I'm
Sorry.
kidding.
You manage to rip her out of his grasp and kind of roll away as you kind of cover her to protect her from this troll. The troll roars in anger. He's now got a surfeit of targets, and he doesn't really know where to throw himself at. 6, it would be Sherlock.
Yes. I would like... I don't know if this is really going to work here, but I would like to use my talent Eagle Eye, where I gain +2 to vigilance when trying to interpret a situation I am not involved in, because I am just kind of slowly meandering down the stairs, surveying this scene that's happening, seeing this troll, and I kind of want to use it as like, does Sherlock see any weak points? Does he notice anything out of the ordinary in this room that could maybe affect their chances in this very strange troll battle? I imagine he's also very much so staring at this troll and maybe getting a little bit of a weird boner. I don't know. What is this thing? I'm scared. I'm really excited, though. I want to learn more. Oh no,
Thanks
a
for
boner.
the raid, Jess. Really appreciate it. We're playing Vaesen mixed
timing.
with some
Perfect
Sherlock Holmes.
timing.
Give me your vigilance roll, then your logic plus vigilance, and that +2.
Yes.
And yeah,
let's
you
see.
came
That's
in
a
right
lot
in the middle of a
fucking dice.
classic Harlan Creepshow moment.
Yeah, okay. We're going to roll a handful of dice and then another handful because I got a lot of dice to roll. All right. That's 3 6s.
Okay, so 3 6s, and you are Sherlock Holmes. So this is what happens. You see it all
I am
clearly.
motherfucking Sherlock Holmes.
You see it all clearly, but there's one thing missing. There's one piece missing. You see everything. It's kind of like that weird moment where everything kind of slows down and you see all the different parts, but there's one piece missing. There's one piece missing. And as you look around trying to figure out what that piece is, you look down and you see Bones' character. You see Sooty. And you haven't met Sooty yet. She's brand new to you, but you look at her, you look at the fetishes, you look at the way she's dressed, you look at everything and you go, this person knows about this stuff. First of all, you're getting a boner there too, because you're like, this person knows about this, I need to save this person, ask her some questions later. But if anyone here is going to know what the weak point of a troll is, and you think you can kind of, fucking Sherlock Holmes mastermind it all, if you know what the troll's weak point is. So you need to ask her, and she needs to tell you that if she knows.
Okay. I'm assuming that's my
But you
my
can
turn.
say something if you want. You won't take this whole turn.
Yeah, I think you, Sooty, you just hear over the din of this basement. Perhaps now is the time to be telling us what to do in this situation, young lady.
And Bones just happens to have an action right after this at 8. So
Amazing. I think she scrambles. Was that all you're doing? I don't want to. You're good,
just
okay.
go ahead and do your action, and
Yep.
we'll probably be narrating after this. So do your
Okay.
action, and then we'll take it from there.
Sooty is going to scramble out of Angus's grasp, and she is dive bombing for that grave that he had dug and put his mother's bones in. And as she's sort of dive bombing for it, she's going to shout back at you, "Holy symbols! It needs bloody holy symbols!" And you're going to hear her now reciting the Lord's Prayer as loud as she possibly can. Just a straight "Our Father who art in heaven," and as she's like going for this grave and digging it up with her ruddy little hands.
And then you see it, Sherlock. You see all of it. You see it as if it had happened and you were watching a recording of it. But you start telling people exactly what they need to be doing. First of all, you understand that Elmet Jack Stapleton is a very conflicted individual. He seems to have some guilt about what he's done, but he still kind of tried to throw you guys to the wolves. So, you know, he's kind of on his own. But then you can see it very clearly. She's trying to dig. There's something there. She knows she needs it. She just talked about that. She's not going to be able to dig. She's not strong enough. Her brother is strong enough. Her brother is big. In fact, you can see the shovel in the corner that was used to dig that hole originally. So her brother dug that hole. Her brother knows what's in there. Her brother can dig that out very quickly. You can get him to do that. Next up, you know that this thing is very dangerous and it's going to be coming for someone at some point. Probably whoever's going to go down that grave. And as you see that, you know that there's only one person that can actually do anything. Someone who has the nerves of steel to stand in front of a creature like this and not let them make them afraid and make them cower. But this person is going to have to kind of stand up to this thing that they have encountered that has shattered their knowledge of science and of the world and how it works. And they're going to need, in order to be able to stand in front of this troll and stop them long enough to get Jack to dig where his sister is telling him to dig, they're going to need some words of encouragement from you. Some kind, warm words of encouragement from you so that they know what they mean to you, and they can find the courage to stand in front of what they fear the most and let the others do what they need to do. What do you do?
I think all you hear behind you, John, is John, I'm sorry. That's it. That's all he says.
What did you say?
Don't make me say it again.
No. It was my trick here. What did you say?
Don't make me say it again, John. You heard me?
Sorry, it's the tinnitus acting up again. I missed it. What did you just say?
I'm sorry, John.
Did you just say you're sorry?
Sorry, John.
Sorry
John.
for what? Sorry for...
John!
Go on, I'm listening.
John, will you just go deal with it, please?
Oh, do you need my help?
I'm just looking at him like, what the fuck?
This is not the time, John.
You're right, it's not the time, but we will be talking about this. And I stand up and I kind of balance very gingerly on my knee and I look to Jack and I say, fuck you. And I walk over to the troll, kind of limping. And I stand there. And I stand there and I look at Sooty and I stand there and I've got my gun raised and I go, this is nonsense. All of this is fucking nonsense. I've seen some of the worst things that humanity has to lay out before me. I've cut open cadavers in a lab. I have seen human anatomy inside and out. I have recognized that science is the only thing that I have come to depend upon. And then I lost sight of that when all of these creepy things started coming out of the earth. And you know what? It is nonsense. All of it. All of it, including the science, including everything that humanity has done. It's all nonsense, isn't it? And I start unfurling this diatribe about the nature of magic and science and how wouldn't it be great if there was room for both, as whatever that may be. And I keep glancing back at Sherlock and I am like smug about it.
The troll stops in his tracks and looks at you and looks over at Jack and looks at you again and looks over at Jack. It is a little bit perplexed. Behind them, you see Angus, with the shovel under Holmes's directions. You have dug up the remains of your mother, exactly where you laid them there a few years ago. And you see right away, shining around her neck, her bony neck, her beloved silver crucifix. You pick it up with trembling hands. And as you do, your mother
Sorry,
says...
Mom.
And as you do say that, your mother says, I forgive you. And you hand it over to your sister. Sooty, you now have your mother's crucifix in your hand, something you swore you would never touch, something you swore you would never deal with. This evil organization that puts down women and anything that is special and different and interesting and strange in the world. But here you are, holding it up in front of this troll. And now you have a choice to make. You can either hold it up and try to scare this troll away again, or you can let it do whatever it's going to do and let this wild magic, this wild creature, take its course.
Sooty takes a breath as she looks to John Watson, who is being so incredibly brave. And despite his nation of origin, she finds that quite admirable. She's also extremely curious about the nature of the relationship between Dr. Watson and Sherlock Holmes and really wishes to hear all of the gossip. So, that being said, Sooty raises the cross and she begins the Lord's Prayer, and she says with full gusto as she is holding it out in front of her and walking towards this troll, "Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done," and she goes on for the rest of the Lord's Prayer.
And as you intone it, the creature, the troll, starts to scream, starts to keen very, very loudly, curses in Scottish, looks to Jack Stippleton,
Pokemon!
Says, "I'll eat you later." And with that, begins to sink into the ground as it turns around, fear in its eyes, and disappears deep, deep into the bowels of the earth. All is quiet.
Who'd like a drink?
I
And I'm holding my
John
knee.
rushes
Quit all of
over.
that.
John
all
immediately
that
rushes
gaming.
over and starts administering medical aid.
Oh, thank
he's a
you,
healed
John.
surgeon.
Can I
We
ask
did
why,
it! We did
why
it together!
why did you shoot him? And why are you
Yes.
not German?
Oh, it's a long story.
He's someone I've met before. Quite frankly, we had an unsettled bar tab. Is that what we'll call it, dear?
Yes, I forgive you. Do you forgive me?
Well, I tend to forgive a little bit more readily, but my husband, you see,
Oh,
he
shit.
never forgets.
He looks up at Sherlock Holmes.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm
don't
sorry.
We have one more. Shut up, Jack. Nobody cares. Don't we have one more issue? Sooty, is that your name?
it is.
I believe there's a bunch of baying hounds outside circling.
Yes, I think I know what to do about that. And she looks back at Angus and then back at the remains of her mother.
Yeah.
I'll go with you. Give it proper burial.
All right. We'll go.
All right, if you would all just and she like waits for Angus to pick up the remains and sort of
Yeah, I gather some.
ushers her way through. Sherlock, is it?
Yes.
And it's your family that owns this house, isn't it?
You know, I'm afraid there's been a bit of confusion regarding who should own this house. And he looks between you and Angus. I think it should be returned properly to its rightful owners. Wouldn't you say, Sooty?
A little smile sort of creeps up on the corner of her mouth. I would sure like to agree with you on that, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, I would love if you would say yes, actually, because then John has no way of dragging me back out here.
Oh, no, now we're bonded through trauma. You would be welcome at any time during the summer or winter to come and visit us.
Hear
You're
that,
probably the
darling?
nicest
He
English
starts
people I've
putting
ever
his
met.
hand up. Shh. That's
What
quite
was that?
all
Sorry,
right.
summer holiday as well.
We would hate to bother you and your brother as you reconnect in your family
It must have been
home.
my trick here. Did I hear that we were invited for the summer holiday?
John, don't you have something to do with Jack?
Oh, right. And I just cinched this bandage down hard on his knee.
Oh God! Oh, Jesus
Well,
Christ.
if you don't mind, I would like to go back out into snow there and rebury my mother,
By all means.
Angus.
Yep, let's go.
I will take the lead up the stairs, and do we hear the hounds?
You hear them, but they sound a little bit distant.
I think once they reach the door out to the front of the house, I think she looks back to Angus and then looks back out to the wintry scene before them as she opens it up, and I think she'll say very quietly to herself, "See, I'm Scottish. I'm not bothered by anything that's sold out here. This is my land." And she steps out.
You following it?
Yeah, 100% Angus follow Pines.
Downstairs, Sherlock and Dr. Watson, you stand there with this opened grave and the blood and the smell of cordite in the air. And screaming of the hounds has begun to fade away.
My good dears, Watson and Sherlock Holmes, since you now seem to be on the side of returning property to its rightful heirs, perhaps we could revisit the affair of the Crimpton Moors from some time ago. Would you support my claim?
You're boring me already.
I thought not.
Well, I think the only thing that's suited for you, dear Jack, is the four walls of a prison cell.
Yes, I suppose you were going to say that. But before that, for old times, shall we have some schnapps?
John looks to Sherlock and says, no, actually, I think I'll pass.
Well, should we get him upstairs?
Yes, I suppose we shall.
Tie him to something sturdy?
That old sleigh bed in your brother's room ought to do quite nicely.
No, mind the knee.
And
Surely.
a little later, as the sun rises on a grave that has been refilled with its proper content, the bones and the cross, and refilled with the earth, and two siblings watch the sunrise for the first time together, and one of them sees off on the edges of the wood a little wood nymph that is anxiously awaiting them, their return to the forest with them. In the house, sun comes in through some of the windows that have this pattern of frost on them, creates these interesting, intricate shadows falling on the bed where Dr. Watson and Sherlock Holmes are both awakening and are having their little morning tea and toast burnt on one. What do you do, the two?
John is reading the newspaper. Well done, love. Another case solved.
Yes, I'm quite ready to return to London now.
Ah, so eager to return to the city.
Oh. You seen that girl Sooty around?
Not since she buried her mother.
Wouldn't mind asking her a few questions before we're off.
Certainly. Be happy to. Would you like to do that alone?
No, I think you should be there.
Very good. I'll just pop up then. And John very slowly gets up and kind of favors the bad knee and joins your side.
Out.
Sherlock
Or
is... Oh, no, go ahead. You're just going to lead him off, that's all.
Outside, as the sun rises and the two of you finish off the rest of the flask of hooch that was in Angus's jacket, and you see your woodwife waiting for you off in the distance. What do Sooty and Angus have?
I've always been wild, Angus, and that's just where I belong to be.
Yeah, I know. I just thought maybe if you felt like you had a home, you'd settle down.
I'll always be near you, Angus. I'll look out for you.
If you ever decide that you want to come visit, you'll know where to find me.
I know. Listen, we have that nice Sherlock Holmes, the same thing, that I was just meant to be wild. And she's gonna walk off.
Like Angus stands there in the snow and watches. He lights this small little rolled up cigar that he had in his pocket, and he's like, "Oh, nice," and just smokes it while he watches her walk off.
Meanwhile, Dr. Helmet, shall I say Jack Stapleton, you wake up chained to the sleigh bed in quite a certain amount of pain, and you see the priest standing there next to you. Dr. Helmet, Mr. Jack Stapleton, should I say?
You may call me Baronet Baskerville.
Baronet? Well. I see I'm dealing with some nobility here. I will put on my best airs and my most formal manner. Let me introduce myself. My name is Holmes, Mycroft Holmes, Her Majesty's Secret Service. I've been watching you, Mr. Stapleton. You're very resourceful, you're very endurant, and you have a way with deceit, lies, mendacity, all attributes that we in the secret of Her Majesty hold in the highest regard. I could use a man like you. Tell me, have you ever considered government employment?
I'm considering it now.
Well, perhaps we could talk about it on the road. The last train leaves in about 30 minutes. I'm sure we can make it before my brother and his husband wake up.
Yes, your brother and his husband. I should like to meet them again sometime in the future.
Oh,
perhaps
Sherlock has
after
a way of
I've done you
stumbling
a service, you may do me a service as well.
Well, quid pro quo, as they say.
Yes, quid pro quo.
Well, you're speaking my language, sir. And he reaches and picks up the chains that were holding you and just removes them off of you as they'd been unlocked while you were asleep. Shall we? I see you're favoring your leg. Here, use my umbrella as a cane.
Very good. And then he looks around the room and he sees that Watson has left a bottle of schnapps in the room, and he just picks it up and he pours a drink and he raises it and he says, "To partnership."
Indeed. To partnership in Her Majesty's service. Thanks a glass.
Oh, yes. And I drink it.
And on that note, my friends, we will end this little mystery of the Watsons and the Hounds of the Midwinter, still not knowing what the Hounds were all about, because Bones could not get a word in at some point to explain it. And I was like, are we ever going to find out what the... No, I guess we're not going to find out what the Hounds are about. But that's okay. Some mysteries are meant to remain mysteries. Thank you very much, gang. Really appreciated this. It was a lot of fun. I know I had a lot of fun. I don't know if you did, but I had a lot of fun.